Hey, we back. We here. So much I want to talk about. So much I want to talk about. All right. So you see the title 99% of women deserve to be single moms. I know, harsh. I know. But if they deserve to be, that means we could figure out a way they don't deserve to be, right? Because if you earn something, um, and it's merit based, then it's proof that shit, you do something different, you get different merits. Now, this live show is still, you choose a topic, we have a conversation. But I want to start off with this because I want to really hit on what I think is causing a lot of the issues in the dating world. I'm not blaming all women, blame all women, all women, all women. But they do bear some blame. Men, they do bear some blame as well. And so, hey, we got to keep things even. So let's start it off, right? Before I get into it, dog, I will be just uh doing my monologue for the first, I don't know, 30-40 minutes or so. After that, I'll put the link in the chat. You guys could more than welcome to join the discussion, and we'll get to it. A few announcements I want to make. I will be putting out tons and tons of content in the next couple days. I'm going full monk mode. Um, I literally had to get off the phone with a girl just now just to talk to you guys. So I'm focused, right? I'm early today, right? I'm not I'm not late. Literally, a girl was blowing me up, and I was like, let me just answer it because she's hitting me up a lot. But uh, I had to stop because I was like, hey, look, man, I got to do this live. I didn't tell him doing a live stream, but I told her I had something to do, and she had to respect it. So, AKA, I'm making a lot of sacrifices for this YouTube channel, and because of it, you guys are going to see a lot of content. I want to say thank you to everybody who uh, watched the content I just put out recently. The Fresh and Fit, uh, I guess, getting roasted by Abba and Preach. I thought that was pretty funny. I don't know what you guys thought about that. Um, that was interesting, and I'm happy that's doing well. I'm happy the video's doing well. But the funny part about that video in general is that they too deserve to be demonetized. Sadly enough, they deserved it. They earned it, right? And uh, like I said, I am on my channel, and I said this in the comments because there's a lot of comments on that video. I hold men and women accountable. I hold myself accountable. You guys know that I told you that I was dating so much and I was going on dates and I was sacrificing these lives to go on dates. And I'm having a change of heart. Like, that's not the direction I'm trying to go anymore. I'm trying to go in a direction where it's this first. I'm focused on this content first. I'm not focused on women anymore. I'm not focused on anything else. YouTube's the top priority. So again, my videos are you're gonna see a lot of content from me coming soon. A lot of content. All right. So, all right, let's talk about this whole 99% of women deserve to be single moms. It hurts me to say this, because I got nothing against all the single moms out there. I got nothing personal against single moms. In fact, I know a lot of wonderful single moms, a lot. And a lot of them probably would be sad to hear that they deserve to be single moms, right? But the truth of the matter is, it's not that they're bad people. I want to say it like that. It's not that they're bad people, but the current mindset that we have about dating for women is causing the the amount of single motherhood that exists. It's the mindset. People don't understand that. It's the mindset, right? And it's kind of this idea like we have been conditioned to believe a particular thing about the world, about life, right? Especially women. Women have been conditioned to believe a particular thing about the world, and that is that they're equal to men, right? Women are equal to men. Therefore, we've been doing this like experiment to see if women could do everything a man can do and still get the same result, such as if they could work the same jobs, if they could be just as promiscuous, if they could put off marriage, if they could put off children, right? We've been doing this weird experiment with how much can women behave like men and get the same results men get. And what we're seeing now is they don't actually get the same results men get. They actually get the results of being single moms, right? And so even though in a way these women are victims, right? Victims of feminism, victims of these ideologies that, by the way, they're not biological, right? A lot of people, I was talking to Big Ward on his live stream last night, and I was telling him how like I had to fall back from dating recently because I just realized how toxic the dating pool is. What I mean by that is that I got friends on by being a nice guy, right? Like women took my kindness for weakness, which to me is just proof that there's a cancer in the mindset of how to date when it comes to women, right? And but on that live, Big War was telling me how girls, when they see a guy, he's a nice guy, they look at that as weakness. Like he's weak. Like he wouldn't stand up for her. He wouldn't stand up. If he won't stand up against her, he wouldn't protect her. He's a coward. He's a punk. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't protect her. And he was saying how this lends his hand to their biology, right? That biologically, women, um, biologically, women are unattracted to nice guys. And I listened to what he said, but you know what? I want to say I disagree with him. I don't believe that. I believe that yes, there are some biological things going on where women are not attracted to, let's say, the nice guys or the good guy, the safe guy, whatever you want to call him, right? Let's just say the good guy, the nice guy. Um, could be interpreted in many ways, right? It could be interpreted as like a kiss ass, but let's say a good guy. Guys is good for you. Do I think there's a biological attraction to the bad boy compared to the good guy? Yeah, and I think the biological thing has to do with scarcity and uncertainty and negativity bias. Meaning that because people have a negativity bias, we tend to focus on the negative things more than positive things. That's one. So this is how bad boys become addicted, because they'll do things that'll bother a woman, and it would essentially live in her head rent free. That's one. Two, the uncertainty. Again, it kind of lends his hand to negativity, but what it really says is that because it's unpredictable, it keeps women on their feet, right? And I think also, so I said negativity, I said bias, and I said what else about bad boys to nice guy. Damn, I'm like forgetting my word. I should roll all this down. Um, but essentially, like long story short, just to keep it, 100% on it, that women are biologically attracted to the negative emotion that bad boys put them in. Now, I want to say this. You could be above your biology. So let's go down into that. Because if it was just biology, most people wouldn't be fit, most people wouldn't be healthy, most people will be broke. Because a lot of the reality for our own personal existence is that we as a people, we as a people are motivated to be lazy, right? Like we literally are motivated to do nothing, to sit on the couch, to be a couch potato, to eat fried foods and foods that are processed because they're loaded with calories and they don't cost you a lot of energy to consume them, right? Because and they say this in the motivational triad, one of our strongest motivators in life is conservation. So conserving energy is a big motivator for us. So, but if we wanted to conserve energy, we would do nothing. Literally, we would sit at home, watch TV, do nothing because we're expending the least amount of energy on it. But we all know that if you live like that, there's some negative consequences. So what do? We rise above our biology. People that go to the gym, I tell people this all the time. If you go to the gym is probably one of the few places in the entire world where you pay to labor, like you pay to work, right? The best thing about it, though, you pay to work on yourself, and therefore you reap the benefits of the work. So that's a good thing, right? But you're literally paying for your own homework, if you will. You're paying for your own labor. Where everyone else in the world or everywhere else outside the gym, people want to be paid for their labor and their work, right? The gyms are places where you're literally paying to labor. But so we ignore the motivational triad of, all right, I'm lazy, I don't want to work, I want to conserve energy. We ignore that and say, but hey, if I conserve energy, I'll be weak, right? I wouldn't, my body, I would lose health, essentially. I have an opportunity cost where instead of being able to build a body that I really admire, I'll be essentially earning a body that I don't desire. And so we surpass this biological thing, right? We surpass it. We evolve past it. But a lot of people don't look at that as that's a good thing. People don't look at that as, well, not that they don't look at evolving past it as a good thing, but people don't take that into people don't take that as impressive as they should. Because going to the gym, working on your body, building yourself, holding yourself accountable to build a body and all that stuff. Mr. What's going on, Mr. He said, "Oh snap, I'm late. I was in Jack's screen washing dishes, not even looking at the screen." Now it's all good, bro. Appreciate you. We talking about single motherhood, holding single moms, women accountable for becoming single moms. Which, hey, we're gonna go into why that is. But I was talking a little earlier about how, we give a lot of women excuses why they become single moms. We say, well, hey, women have a natural desire for bad boys compared to nice guys because nice guys make them feel like they're not safe, right? It's like biologically, they feel like this guy won't protect me because if he's nice to me, he'll be nice to the enemy, and therefore I'm at risk. And even though I could accept that as a biological reason for not liking the right guy or the good guy, I'm arguing that, well, then we could argue why the biological reason why people are out of shape, fat, and unhealthy, because one of the strongest motivators for humans is energy conservation, right? It's conserving energy. So, which makes sense in the wild, right? And it makes sense to not to expend too much of your energy because you don't know the next time you're going to eat. And that's kind of a natural biological thing that we've evolved a long period of time to be this way. But in modern times where you could sit on the couch, eat a bag of chips, so you'll eat some highly dense food, with energy dense food, which in the wild's great, right? If you eat something that's very energy dense, it's a less, you can conserve energy too, and you can consume less. But the other part about this is that if you do that, you know that you're going to earn an out of shape body. You're going to not be fit. You're not going to be healthy. And so we need to give props to people who rise above their biology and go out there and labor to build a body, even though biologically humans are lazy. Like, we rise above that, right? So I'm saying that women could rise above this BS of, oh, nice guys make me feel unsafe, and say, you know what, that's That's my lower self, right? That's the subconscious mind. But my conscious mind knows that the right thing to do is be with a guy who values me, who appreciates me, and would take good care of me, right? Not chase after the guy who doesn't value me, who values himself, and therefore, if I hook up with him, this is like if a girl decides to, as women, if women hooks up with them and gets pregnant with them, he won't actually provide for them or protect them because he's going to be on his way. And so I'm saying that women deserve to be single moms because they haven't evolved past their biology. They're living in a paradigm that's outdated, right? We need to update their paradigm, which suggests that some of the best men for you as a woman is that nice guy that's going to stick around and raise the kids, is going to value you, is not going to try to fight with you, argue with you, is not going to be sleeping around, is going to be loyal, is going to be faithful. But that's the guy that doesn't biologically do it for them, right? Mr. Bishop says, her body, her choice, her responsibility. Now more than ever, women have 20 plus ways to prevent pregnancy, regardless of what any man does. Any woman, and women simply choose not to even use one of those options. Bro, absolutely. Absolutely. And so that's true. So yeah, that one, right, choosing. So you actually raise a good point. So the problem is twofold. One, they choose the wrong guy to have kids with, so they end up being a single mom. And two, they don't actually take the precautions not to get pregnant. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you. Right? And so we got to switch the paradigm. So let's talk about that. Right? The best, I guess you could say birth control, or the best contraception for pregnancy should be not having sex before you're married, right? Old school, religious view standpoint, right? You only have sex with the man that you marry, right? You lose your virginity to the man that you marry. And in that way, since you're not using contraception, it's okay if you get pregnant because it's your husband, right? So essentially, not fornicating, right? Telling women that don't fornicate, don't have sex before you're married, don't have sex outside of a marriage. Now, somebody might say, like, oh, you're putting all the onus on women, all the onus on women. Well, let me tell you something, man. Women have single-handedly control of this. In a society that we're in right now, if women decided that they're not sleeping with a man unless they're married, that's exactly what's going to happen. Men are going to have to marry women in order to have sex unless they're sleeping with sex workers, right? They would have to marry women unless they're sleeping with sex workers, which is how it used to be, right? They used to be whorehouses, women who were unwed, had bastard children, and their livelihood was sleeping around, while most other women had to get married first because that was the standard before they had kids. Mr. Smith says agreed, and that's why religions told you not to have premarital sex. All the problems that come with baby mamaism. Yeah, there you go. Right? I think women could single-handedly end this. No woman is a single mom, right? Or 99% of women are not single moms against their own will. They had a hand in it. Now, let's talk about the men's role in it. Yes, are men sleeping with women they're not married to? Absolutely. Are men having unprotected sex with women they're not married to? Absolutely. But here's the question. Who bears the larger cost for that behavior, men or women? Yeah. I know. Women do, right? Women do. And it's not just a black guy saying that. Jordan Peterson said this. Because the reality of it is, a woman could die in childbirth. She could have a miscarriage and get an infection from the child if the child dies in her body. So she could die before the child's even born if the child's a miscarriage but doesn't properly discharge out of her body. So women have a much, much higher cost to sex. So therefore, the burden's on them not to let sex happen. And they can, right? In the society we're living in now, women have to consent to sex for sex to happen. Mr. Smith says, even if you're not religious, we still live in a world now where we can decide to not have unprotected sex with people we're not married to. Problem solved. Yes. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many ways to avoid being a single mom, it's not even funny. But what ends up happening is because we're having sex outside of marriage, because women look at the child as theirs and not the man's, they're looking at it like they don't want to kill. Not to say they should kill the child, but they're looking at it like this is my child. The guy is a second thought. Not that it's our child. Like I'm conceiving a child for us together. It's my child, and she wants to keep her child, and she wants to be a mother. Because there's no such thing as motherhood without men. But women could separate the man and say, this is my child. And this is where women decide to keep the baby when they're pregnant uh, outside of marriage because they're looking at it like this belongs to me, right? They're not seeing it like, no, you're giving the man the greatest reward a woman could give a man, which is have burden his legacy. So, our generation, right? Listen, women made mistakes in the past. I'm not here to say that I didn't make any mistakes. I made a ton of mistakes, 100%. In fact, I really should be a father right now because I got a girl pregnant before, but she had an abortion, which was, I'm looking at it like probably the greatest sin of my life and the greatest regret of my life. Even though I didn't have a say in it, it was her call, her say, I definitely didn't stop her. You know what I'm saying? I definitely didn't stop it. Mr. says, even religions say the child actually belongs to the father. The child is his seed. The woman is the gardener. Yeah, I agree with that, bro. But women, we don't see it that way. And this is what I'm trying to say. A lot of this, we think is biology, right? We think it's nature, but it's actually nurture. And this is what I'm saying is that this is why if we have a paradigm shift, we could eradicate single motherhood altogether. And that's how we should start looking at these problems is, can we solve for this problem? Now, eradicating single motherhood on a global level might be hard, but as a woman on an individual level, a woman could guarantee she's not a single mom by following some basic steps. And that is not having a child before she graduates high school, right? And only having a child after she's married. Get married before she has a child and graduate high school before she has a child. She kind of guarantee that single motherhood would not even exist in her own life. Mr. Smith said, what could you have done to stop the woman from aborting your child without breaking the law or putting hands on her? Bro, nothing. But the reason why I feel guilty about it, I'll tell you the truth. I helped pay for it. So I feel guilty about that. And two, I never stopped there. I was young. I was 21. I was 22. I'm not going to use the young thing. I'm young. I'm dumb. Not that I'm young and dumb. But I think I should try. I just didn't have the brains to, but I really should try to persuade her not to do it. If I could go back in time, I would have, even though we're not together now, I would have still, like, and this is why I'm careful, because if a girl gets pregnant now, I want her to have the child, and I'm definitely going to do what I should have did back then, which was like stop it for like, no, this is my kid. Because if she kept that child, I would have like a 14-year-old right now. Like, I know it's wild. I would have. This is back in 2010. So yeah, it would be like 13-year-old, 12-year-old turning 13 right now. Boy or girl, who knows? But yeah, I would have been a father of preteen essentially. So, but this is why that has made me very precautious altogether, because I don't want to go through that again. Mr. said, Mr. said, were you not broke at 21 years old like the rest of us? I was, but I don't think that should mean that I should take the life of an unborn child. I don't think that justifies it, but I was, bro, I'm still broke. You know what I'm saying? Like, not broke. Like, you know, I'm making decent money. I won't lie. I'm very fortunate to earn, essentially north of $70,000 a year, just to put it out there. I mean, I guess, you know, that's not wealthy or rich, but you know, it's definitely enough to be essentially comfortable, you know, and make things happen, you know. So I'm pretty happy about that. But yeah, I regret that. So let's go back to this whole single mother thing. 99% of women deserve to be single moms. My reasoning one is that and Kevin Samuels made this argument, no child is born in this world without the permission of a woman. That's absolutely true. Women could avoid being single moms if they only uh, gave birth to children while in a marriage, meaning get married before they carry, and graduate high school before they have a child. Those two things would definitely change the outlook. So let's talk about it this way. We need a paradigm shift in America because the current paradigm says women could, your sexuality is your freedom. Sleeping around is your freedom, which I don't see how women are free by sleeping with random men who get to use their body for fun. I don't see how that's freedom and liberation, Yeah, you're liberated from morals, but I don't think you're liberated from consequences. So that's a idiotic statement there. But I think ultimately, if we look at it like, no, that freedom's actually preserving your chastity till marriage. That's a real liberation where you're not of the world, right? You're not just a pawn to the current dogma, right? That you are someone that has principles and you have ethics, and there's a way about having children, and there's a way about doing this, and other countries do this. India does this really well. In India, they have arranged marriages and women keep their virginity essentially till they're married. I know it's probably a lot different now, but still a lot of people in India get married. Mr. Mitch says, I can understand having certain feelings about it, but I also think we should not keep bringing children into this world we are not ready to provide for and protect them. Yeah, we shouldn't. That's why we shouldn't do the behavior that would conceive their life. I agree with you. I don't think we should take their lives. I think to follow what you're saying is we should take the necessary precautions, excluding Plan B and abortions. We should take the necessary precautions to prevent conception to begin with, right? So that's kind of my thoughts on it. So I'm comparing this to a woman deserves to be a single mom, just like a lazy man deserves to be out of shape and overweight. The same way, right? Naturally, humans are lazy by nature. Why? Because conserving energy is a real need when food is scarce and the next meal is uncertain, right? So conserving your energy is a real smart thing. But conserving energy could also lead you to being lazy, being a couch potato, and not actually doing anything in the world, right? And that's not good long term. It's not good for you. I would even argue in the short term, right? So a fit man deserves to be fit, right? And a woman who's married before she has children deserves to be a wife, right? And a mother that's protected within the union of a marriage. The same way a single mom deserves to be a single mom because her choices led her to be a single mom. See, what we don't understand is that we, as a community, because we blame men for everything, and I get it, everything is a man's fault. We look at this problem where actually women have a lot of say in what goes on in this because, one, they control access to sex. We control access to relationships, right? But they control access to sex, and they determine who is a father or not. Women determine who gets to be a father or not. So unless a woman lets you enter her body, you have no chance of becoming a father, right? Women have 100% unilateral, unequivocally control of who becomes a father. And so we know that men's nature is to have sex. We want to have sex, right? We want to spread our seed, blah, blah, blah. But because women nature is to find a high quality seed, them requiring us to be married before they carry seems like a good trade. That's actually the best trade, right? Hey, I'm a virgin. I'll have your children. Blah, blah, blah. Right? This is the girl's perspective to a man. And the man says, sure, I'll marry you if I get a virgin and someone that's willing to carry my children. That's a great deal. Now, is that the deal that I got? No, because I'm not a virgin. Like I said, I understand that I made mistakes just like women made mistakes, not knowing that you don't know what you don't know. You don't know that we're living in a society that's morally bankrupt and are teaching us a dogma that's actually opposing our long-term goals, actually opposing our best interest, right? But the goal now is to say, all right, now that we're aware, because our subconscious mind is asleep, it's not awake, right? It's just impulsive. We just, oh, this is the way the world's going, go this way. Now that we're awake, we're adults, and we could have these conversations and we could reason, right? Because the subconscious can't reason. Our conscious mind can reason. We could say, hey, wait a minute. We've been doing this all wrong. We've been doing this all wrong the whole time. And there is another route, right? And let me tell you something. I haven't met a single mom that's happy she's a single mom. In life, you want to get your H's and your W's together. What's your H's and your W's? Your health, your happiness, that's your H's, and your W's, your wealth. A lot of single moms might have health. They might have wealth. But I'm going to tell you, very few women, if any, are happy to be single moms. Most women prefer to have a ring on their finger that says they're looked after and covered by a man and that they're his wife. I don't know any woman that's glad a man got the beat and skeet. You know what I'm saying? And now she has to have the complete burden of being a mom by herself. I don't know. I don't know any. Ebony K might be the only woman that is looking forward to being a single mom all by herself, right? Ebony K might be the only woman. Dr. Trash says most single moms want a husband. It's just not the baby daddy. Yeah, let's talk about that. Back to why 99% of women deserve to be single moms, because they're having kids with a man they wouldn't marry. This is the number one thing. If a lot of, and what I hear from women, all the time is, Ian, if we got married, I'd still be a single mom because he wasn't worth a damn, blah, blah. And I'm saying, well, if you had to get married first, you might have never carried his kids. This is just the truth. And I know this is hard. These are some hard facts to face and put yourself to the fire to. And we all know women don't hold themselves accountable to begin with, right? Like, women don't say sorry to shit they know they did wrong to us. Imagine taking accountability for their own behavior and their own actions. But the truth of the matter is that if you don't marry before you carry, you are risking of being a single mom. Because there's a lot more men that women, I would say there's a lot more men women probably be down to have casual sex with than actually marry. That's how promiscuous women are now. Women are so promiscuous where there's men they would sleep up with a couple, they'll do a couple hookups with a guy, but they really don't see him as hubby material. Right? This is the whole fuckboy term. Oh, he's a fuckboy. He's a fuckboy. Meaning that he's worth fucking. That's how girls think, right? They look at this guy, he's worth sleeping with, but he's not worth marrying. And what ends up happening, that guy that's worth sleeping with knocks them up. And now they got to make the moral choice whether to keep the child or not. And a lot of women feel attached to something growing in their stomach that belongs to them. And so they keep the child. This could be avoided if women decide to marry before they carry. And if they avoid fornication altogether, which is having sex outside of marriage, which, by the way, I believe any woman that decides, any woman that wants to keep her chastity till marriage is going to be well supported. There's going to be a lot of men very interested in a woman who wants to wait till marriage for sex. I would love to meet a girl that's like that. I would absolutely love to meet a girl that's waiting for marriage to have sex. That would be amazing. Obviously, there's some downsides, yeah, because we grew up in a world where all these girls are 304s and they've watched porn just like everybody else, and they got experience doing a lot of these sexual stuff. Yeah, I guess there's an advantage. You don't have to teach her tricks or whatever. But the disadvantage is that she has a high body count. The disadvantage is her body count's high. That's a disadvantage of it. So women, and like I said, this is a problem that might not be able to be fixed globally, but locally, a woman could assure that she's not a single mom by one, preserving her chastity till marriage, and two, only carrying a baby till she's married, meaning that waiting until she's married before she carries. Any girl could decide all by herself to do that. Dr. Trash says promiscuity is the new marriage. Absolutely, bro. It's sad. That's what we are. In fact, you're absolutely right. We save our chastity. Women save their chastity from promiscuity, right? That's what they're preserving their box for um sexual what they call sexual liberation, you know, which I don't think actually frees women. I really don't. Mr. Smith said, yep, but if she's still waiting at 30 years old, that chastity starts looking a lot less appealing. So it would behoove that women to prioritize marriage before turning 25. So there are, I'm glad you brought that up. There's a right way to go about this. And, you know, obviously I didn't start this live to tell women how to get married the right way. I mean, that's another conversation. I would love to have that conversation. I'm sure Sasha could help with that. Shout out to you, Sasha. But yes, it's not just all like that one girl, Lolo Jones, I believe. I think she's in her 40s and she's a virgin. And yeah, she did it the wrong way, right? You don't just, no one's good enough, and they go to two extremes. The extremes of nobody's good enough. I'm gonna keep holding my virginity. Everyone got to respect this. That works in your young age. By the time you're past the hill or you hit the wall, your chastity is a lot less valuable than it would be in your 20s, because a lot of this has to do with. So keep in mind, what is this whole idea of saving your chastity for? It's so you can conceive in your fertile years. This is not just save your chastity for fun, right? This is save your chastity, and then you gotta use that chastity in your fertile years, right? Not be a 40-year-old, 50-year-old, 60-year-old virgin. No, of course not. Lolo Jones did that, and she's suffering. At this point, I would say just give it away, because the chance of her having a kid is less likely now anyway. And the whole the appeal of her having her virginity is less important after um you know after her prime years for having a child. So yeah, that's my little monologue on it. I told you guys to talk about it for 30 minutes or so. Now I invite you guys in. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Whoever wants to join this conversation, we could talk about it. If you're a married woman, you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. If you're a single mom, you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. If you're a guy with an opinion you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. But I believe 100%, with the exception of maybe 1% of women, so 99% of women who are single moms deserve to be single moms. Only 1% of women, and that probably is being very lenient, don't deserve to be single moms. Only 1%. Okay. And this is good news. I think this is good news for everybody. If I had a daughter, or when I have a daughter, if I should be so fortunate enough to be the father of a young girl, I'm gonna tell her, like, if I was in your shoes, you do it however not to say I won't tell her do it however you want, but I would tell her straight up, like, every action has a consequence. And if you choose to be like the world, you're going to get the world what the world gets. And that's single motherhood. Single motherhood that's exactly what the doctors ordered, right? That's exactly what's for lunch. Single motherhood is on the menu. So if you do what the world does, you're going to get what the world gets. But if you want to get something above the world, right? Above all this nonsense that people are chasing, definitely hold your chastity till marriage. Obviously, a man should help a woman pick a husband. A lot of women don't really have the wherewithal, in my personal opinion, to choose a man. But that there's that. You feel me? There's definitely more to it, but definitely preserve your chastity and wait till you're married to have children. Doctor said, my sister's a single mom, 2 kids, 2 baby daddies, almost 30. Yeah, it's a tough place to be, and like I said, women make mistakes. I made mistakes. I get it. We didn't have the knowledge. We didn't have the information, but that doesn't make what I'm saying any less true, right? That's the unfortunate thing. So maybe our generation are victims in a way, but we should know that we had a lot of say in whether like women had a lot of say in whether they become moms or not. You know, you really don't have to have sex with a man that you're not married to. As a woman, you really don't. You're not obligated to in any way, and no one can pressure you to do so. That's illegal, and you could definitely, pursue criminal charges against someone that's trying to force against your will to do that. So there's no reason to do that. But what I said earlier is we're following the dogma of sleep around. Promiscuity makes you liberated. Sleep around whoever you want. Body count for women don't matter, right? That's the paradigm that we're in. This is not nature, by the way. And so I'm making this a point. That is not biology, right? That's not nature. That's nurture. The whole, promiscuity is you being liberated and stuff. That is nurture, meaning that's the conscious mind, meaning that in that worldview, the reward for that worldview, the modern Western woman worldview, is single motherhood. On the flip side to that, if you viewed it the way I'm saying it, the reward for that is being a wife, right? Having kids by one man. Sasha said, I gave up on all my single female friends, especially the single moms. They all live in La La Land, most of them over 30. Yeah, and it's sad because I get it. There's a negativity bias that women have, meaning that there are definitely more sensitive to negative information more than men. And I guess they have to live in La La Land to prevent the desire to jump off a bridge. That's what it seems like, right? Like women are so, if they didn't live in their delusion, they wouldn't be able to function and operate because they'd want to, implode on themselves. And so I think a lot of women live in La La Land as a way to protect their sanity. But the unfortunate thing is actually a positive feedback loop, because it promotes them being in La La Land longer, which promotes them to be even more delusion, which literally encourages even further undesirable outcomes. So it's a positive feedback loop, and it begets more of what you put into it, and that's just chaos and nonsense. So that's an unfortunate side about it. Anyway, links in the bio. Yo, you guys, if y'all want to help me run the show. This topic was heavy on my mind today. I really thought about it. I said to myself, you know what? Let me do a live stream about it. I don't know if you guys seen a couple of my last episodes, but I think I dropped like 4 videos last week. I'm probably gonna drop a video every day next week. I'm focused. This is, this is my purpose, right? I'm supposed to talk about relationships. I'm supposed to be here having these discussions with you guys. I'm supposed to be at the forefront of challenging some of these ideas, challenging some of these norms, and therefore I'm going to put the most effort in it. I literally bought a brand new MacBook. I'm talking to you guys on a MacBook Pro M3 Pro, right? $2,000 Apple laptop, top notch. And I'm not going to just spend all that money for nothing. I'm going in. You know what I'm saying? I'm going in. And yeah, so I don't know if you guys seen some of my new videos. I did that new video about Fresh and Fit getting roasted by Abba and Preach because they're trying to quit. That video is doing well. I think it's sitting around 2,000, 2,300 views right now. That's doing pretty well. I'm happy with that. And you know what? Just be prepared for it. For everybody that really supports me, yo, get ready, y'all. I know you guys might not be used to this, but I am just unloading the content. Literally after this live is done, I'm going to get right back to it. But yeah, that's that. Also, I did a live with Big Ward last night. I don't know if some of you guys caught that. I hopped on Big Ward's live and we talked about some of this stuff. And that's kind of why I had this conversation today, because he was saying that women biologically find nice guys unattractive and all that stuff, right? And I understood his point, but that did not excuse, that's nature part, right? But the nature part doesn't excuse the behaviors that we have active choice in. And let me say this too really quick before I get off the subject. You have your conscious mind, you have your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is that lizard brain, right? The part of you that breeds, right? Blinks your eyes, right? It's a part of you that just wired from old uh our ancestors, right? It literally is our second nature. But that mind is impulsive, right? Then you have your conscious mind, the one that could reason, the one that could accept or reject information. One, right? The one that has cognitive abilities. You have that. And with that, we could decide whether we are single moms or not, right? Women could decide whether they're single moms or not by choosing certain behaviors over others, accepting some ideologies and rejecting other ideologies. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point. Mr. Smith says, "Welcome to the MacBook Pro life." Yeah, I had a MacBook Pro, but I had an old one, so now I got the brand new one. This is, brand spanking new. And boy, oh boy, this shit is nice. I'm happy with that shit. So shout out to you, bro. Mr. Smith says, "Yeah, I was in the stream yesterday thinking somebody hacked your account." No, thank the Lord, nobody hacked my account. By the time, see, the problem with yesterday's stream is that I couldn't cut his stream off after I was out of there, so I had to kind of let the rest of his stream run, like let the rest of the stream just run, because it was his show, and I was live streaming simultaneously on his channel. It's like a feature you could do on StreamYard. You could stream live someone else. You could live stream someone else's live stream, but it has to stop only when they stop. Some kind of thing like that. But it was cool. I was able to get the conversation we had together on my live stream, and I looked back at it this morning, and it was I was happy with it, But he covered this exact thing that I'm talking about, that women can't help it. He pretty much took accountability away from women, saying that it's not their fault, they can't help it, blah blah. But the reality of it is, he's talking about the subconscious mind, but we have a conscious mind, and our conscious mind can accept or reject things. It is what it is. Like, we just because there's nature and nurture, we gotta understand what the difference is. And a lot of the feminism has nothing to do with nature; it has to do with nurture. Because it's actually the antithesis of nature. Because nature really wouldn't suggest that women delay having kids, get married. Delay having children. It wouldn't suggest that nature wouldn't suggest that they have kids outside of a marriage, right? This is like, literally the opposite of what their nature would actually suggest that they do. So that's that. Yeah, so all right. So if nobody calls in, I'm definitely gonna end the live stream at 9, just so I could get some more videos cracking. But if you guys have any questions, if you guys want to make any comments, that's pretty much the show that I have for today. Just talking about how women have an opportunity to not be a single mom. They really do. And so if anybody wants to call in, links in the chat. Like the live stream while you guys are at it. I appreciate the support. And expect a lot of videos this week. I'm definitely running it up. Mr. says he was able to see your comments. He put my comment the fuck on screen and called me a hater and a bust ass ninja. I never seen this dude before. Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. Hey, yo, that's hysterical. I didn't know that, bro. I didn't know I could even do that. Like, and whoever jumps on my live stream, they could actually do that too. Like, the way I think I'm pretty sure he's using StreamYard. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was using StreamYard. The way it works is if you use StreamYard and you hop on his live stream and you're signed into your YouTube, you could live stream whoever YouTube you hopped on. That's what I did for his. But damn, I didn't know he could see the comments. That's wild. Damn. Even he probably didn't know what the hell was going on. Yeah, so I watched a couple of so Big Ward, he's kind of like, obviously he's an older gentleman. I believe he's in his 40s. And I believe he has kids, and he's a dude. He's an old school Pookie and Ray Ray type of dude who was able to come to his senses, right? He didn't get stuck in his nature, right? He was able to transcend, some of his impulses as a young man. And yeah, now he's talking. Now he's talking his shit, and people loving it. People like his content a lot, and he's inspiring the fuck out of me because he got grinding like that after a year. He just sat for a year and just grinded it out. And my friend, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm literally just gonna grind this shit out. Mr. Mister says, I really thought you got happy because I didn't see you in there at all. I replayed it and I got there like 20 minutes after you left. Yeah. And bro, I wish I knew I could stop it. I didn't know either you can't stop it or I didn't know the way how to stop it, and so yeah, that was a strange thing. But yeah, I remembered you comment on the video after he did end the live stream, so therefore it was like a live video on my channel. And like I said, like, yeah, I was on his channel for a little bit and it just kept rocking. Agent Crypto says, hey, sir, I don't appreciate the title. Is that the real Agent Crypto or is that the spam bot Agent Crypto? Yeah, that was today's live streams all about accountability. And in the future live streams, I might do accountability for men too. But this is one in particular I think is hitting, especially the Black community, like a ton of bricks. Like we gotta realize the women in our community gotta know that they got a choice in this. I think that's one of the worst. One of the worst things that came out of all this is that women think that they're destined for single motherhood. It's the wildest thing. Like I met so many single moms that told me that they knew they were going to be a single mom. I'm like, what? Like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like they knew that, they could see themselves having a kid but not being with the man, and that's because they grew up in a single mother household. And it's a scary thing that we're in, bro. Great question. Doxy Thrash says, "Who's a real victim in single motherhood?" You know what? I don't think there's just one victim. I don't think there's one. I think the whole. I think what's that phrase that JC said? Nobody wins when the family feuds. Mr. Mister said the children, but we're the children. The reason why I couldn't say the children because the children become adults, and we got to deal with those adults, which could be more chaotic women in the future. So we don't benefit from that. And no one's a child for their whole life. So yeah, we're the children essentially. We're adults now, but we are those children. A lot of us came from single motherhoods, and it affected us. Fortunately, I came from a single father household, believe it or not. But my dad was married by the time I was a teenager. But my dad was dating, and I only knew one girl he dated, the woman he ended up marrying when I was a child. So it wasn't like I seen my dad with a lot of different women. But he was a single father, and they say single fathers do better than single mothers. And I think the reason for that is because single fathers hold their kids accountable, right? There's order, there's structure, and it's not a free for all. Where single moms tend to be kiss assy and let their kids get away with them and baby their children into adulthood, right? They make them baby boys, like the movie. They make them baby boys. So yeah, great question, Doxy. But yeah, I'm gonna keep this live stream going on for a few more minutes. If someone wants to join, we could definitely have the conversation. If not, we'll wrap this up. Thursday, the next live stream at 9 p.m. I'm gonna be thinking about another topic like this to kind of go in to really make the live streams something you could replay and think about. Something we could talk more about this in the future, because I want to really tackle some of these issues hard. I definitely think that we need to be having these discussions, right? And fortunately for me, that because this will live on for eternity, essentially, my daughter might be, if I have a daughter in the future, she'll be able to watch this and learn from this, right? And so, and maybe I can help someone else who are raising a young child, or maybe a young girl coming up could see this and say, you know what, you're right, I don't gotta be a single mom, because you don't. The good news is that because it's women's fault, and I said this earlier on in the video, because you could deserve to be a single mom, you also could deserve to be a wife. You could earn your way as a woman in the world. You don't have to be a victim of it. And I think that's kind of the bigger idea in this entire live stream is that because women deserve to be single moms, they also deserve to be wives. They also deserve to be covered, right, in a respectable relationship. They don't have to be baby mamas. There's no obligation to do so. No one can force them into single motherhood. They have a lot of control and a lot of freedom in this country, right? So you make the right choice, choose the right guy, um, and someone said this, and I kind of agree with this: date long and marry slow. Especially for men. I don't know about women. Maybe women don't want to date long and marry slow, but definitely for men, date long and marry slow. Like, don't rush into marriage as a man. Like, slow the fuck down and really get to know somebody before you decide to make that leap. I'm not looking at marriage as a thing right now. I don't know if I'm going to be married in the future. I guess it might be somewhat of a possibility. I'm down to respect a woman enough to marry her before she has kids, but to say that I'm looking for that right now, absolutely not. I'm focused on what I'm doing right now. I got a lot of work ahead of me. This is what I'm focused on, and in the future, we're gonna have to figure that out. But yeah, I'm down to possibly marry before I have a children and a way to kind of look out for my kids. Tashi Thrash says, I noticed two types of children in single motherhood nowadays, where the dad is in the picture or not, and that right there makes a difference. Don't matter if the dad was good or bad. Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something really deep right now. I think a lot of women could transcend single motherhood. They just gotta really go through a paradigm shift. They gotta really rethink their presumptions, and a lot of them don't know how to go about that. To do the shadow work, to really reflect on their thoughts, their ideas, their feelings, their impulses. But they could. But I think of one of the harder things to get past, even if you have both your parents, feminism. Because like this whole boss babe movement, whether you have your dad or not, if you're trying to become a boss babe, you might as well have not even had a dad in your life. Because again, you're still following this idea that the most important thing about my life is that I'm making money and I got a good job. You're not thinking about family and building a legacy and building a future with somebody. You're thinking about career and raises and, being autonomous and not having to depend on anybody. And I just can't see how that could end well long term for women. If women are autonomous and don't technically need a man, then they want to only date a man that they really desire. And we know women only really desire the bad boys. So it's kind of like this catch-22 when women pursue boss babes, that kind of mentality, because I met girls that had their mom and their dad, but they want to be a boss babe. And those are some of the most insufferable women you can meet. The boss babe chicks. There's some of the most. I met a girl like, bro, bad. Like, I won't lie, she's bad. I bagged her. I screwed it up with her. I won't say how, but things were progressing and I fucked it up. But the way she handled the fucked up was pretty bad. She handled it poorly, and she just showed her immaturity the way she handled it. But when we were talking, she was telling me how like she would wear G-string thongs in front of her dad, like meaning like, so they'll go to the beach, or she'll be in her aunt's pool wearing like a G-string bikini even when her dad's around. I thought how gross that was and how much she lacked respect for her own father. But it made me realize, like, even though she had her dad in her life, her dad was a pushover where she could feel like she could get away with that. So insufferable women are not just women that don't have their dads, but women who are pushover fathers. They could be single moms too. If your dad's a pushover, he didn't really, you had a domineering mother who like really treated your dad like a chump, she's gonna view men that way. Where men are dumb and you could talk to them anyhow, anyhow. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you don't gotta be in a single mother household to experience that. Ms. Smith says, on top of that, it's just straight up disrespectful for a woman to say she doesn't need a man. Bro, and we covered this in a previous live stream. The 10 most dangerous jobs in America, according to OSHA, which is Occupational Safe and Healthy Association, right? So they deal with the safety of occupations. All of them are male jobs. All of them. So when a woman says she don't need a man, you know, what is she talking about? Because who built her house? The home she living in, the apartment building, they weren't built by women. You know what I'm saying? This idea is we have this thing where men are idiots and dumb, they're stupid, but they built the society that we see right now. Right? Like this idea that there should be no respect for men is so ridiculous. Because women look at the world like, and so let's go back to the boss babe thing. They want to be boss babes, but none of them want to do blue collar work. They only want to do white collar work. But what the hell is white collar work without blue collars? Like, they want to be in an office. They want to be in the corner, you know what I'm saying, the corner office in some high rise building. But the reality of it is that high rise building couldn't exist without steel workers to build the goddamn building, right? Without men to build the furniture, without electricians to supply electricity, without plumbers to supply the plumbing. They want to be white collar workers. You don't have an office building without blue collar workers. So this idea that they have no respect for blue collar workers, they're disconnected to how this world actually exists. You know, they really are. And they're selfish. Let me tell you something, man. And I respect that women look after each other and they want to do things to provide it for each other. But a lot of women, when they want to pursue a career on their own or a business, it's never a business to help a man, right? All the businesses, nails, lashes. I work with girls. I'm a personal trainer. I work with girls. When they specialize in stuff, they specialize in prenatal, postnatal care or postnatal training and stuff. No one ever looks at what can I do for a man. But men, we're supposed to make services for men and women, where women, when they get the opportunity to create a service, it's almost always for women, right? You know, you'll never hear about women starting barbershops, right? You don't hear a woman say, I want to be, I'm going to focus on men's health. So it's a lack of appreciation for the men that built the world, and it's a lack of contribution to the society that has nothing to do with women. When men made tampons, right? Tampons were made by men. You know, birth control made by men. Like all the technology we're using now is made by men, and you don't need men. Wild opinion, but that's the dogma that we have. Mr. Smith says yes, and they don't call other women when the shit hits the fan. They call a man for everything. Facts. Right? It's fire men, not fire women. Bro, I was watching Romania has this fight. I guess you could say this fighting organization, kind of like a UFC. I think it's called FX or something, where they had a match between a man and two women, right? This obese, overweight. I don't know if you guys seen this, but it was this obese, overweight man. It's a 2v1, right? Two women versus obese, overweight man. Two women. But here, you know, because it's women and we gotta make everything special for women, and you know, we let two women fight one guy. Guess what? The women got to wear headgear. The guy didn't. You know what I'm saying? You know, they made it so they tried to make it so safe for women, and those two girls still got their ass whooped by an overweight guy that anybody in the chat, any guy in the chat would have watched this dude, yeah. Right? Overweight, out of shape. You put me and him in the ring, he would have been, you know what I'm saying? He thought he beat up those girls. He would have got it worse than them girls. So, you know, we talk about equality and this and that, and it's sad because what it's really saying is that men aren't anything a man could do, I could do, because men don't do anything of value that makes him, you know what I'm saying, a threat. But the reality of it is we protect women, we provide for women, we run the world, we run the faculties that run the world. The 10 most dangerous jobs, they're all male jobs: roofing, mining, plumbing, pilots, which some women do pilots. You know what I'm saying? I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Some women are pilots. Shout out to the women pilots. So that's probably the dangerous job that some women do. But all the other jobs, largely had to do with working with your hands in dangerous environments, which women never do, but they want the benefits of doing that. Women with protection against a morbidly obese guy who just got off the couch 30 minutes before that. Yeah. 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 And it's funny because, they couldn't, two girls couldn't take down a guy. And then they wonder why we say, y'all need us, because you guys are not even strong enough to stand against the weakest men. Forget about a man that's a real threat. If this guy was, a real threat, they'd be in a lot of trouble. Dr. Shire says girls with a 2020 whip with a check engine light on. Yeah. Bro, I knew it was one girl, bro. This is how much women need, man. I knew it's one girl. She thought all chains were bullshit. I'm telling you, I work with this girl. She thought all like to change your oil, that was bullshit. That was just something that automatic uh auto mechanics did to scam you out of money. Real shit. So when her oil change light came on, she decided I'm never gonna change my oil because I'm not gonna get scammed. Right? She thought I'm not gonna get scammed. So what did she do? Bro, she never changed her oil. You know what happened to her car, bro? And we as men, yeah, you know what happened to her car? This woman really thought that oil changes was a scam and she didn't have to do it because she's just such the most brilliant person. I wonder why no one thought of this before she did. Right? We're just changing our oil for fun. She don't even got to change her oil. What you guys? Anyone knows what happened to that car? She never changed oil. Anyone can figure out what happened to that car? Literally drove a car, brand new car. I'm not even talking about an old car, brand new car. Never changed the oil. Dr. Strauss, I knew 3 girls' car blew up on the highway, brand new cars. LOL, no oil change. Yeah. And blowing up, that's one thing. I want to see if anyone else can see what else the answer is. Yeah. Exactly. Mr. Mister said engine seized up. You know why? So a lot of women don't even know this. That this is how much they think they're better than a man, but they don't even understand how the world works in their own life, right? Because they drive cars, they operate a car that they don't even understand. They operate it, but they don't even understand the technology behind it. Oil is in a car to allow the engine parts to move smoothly amongst each other without seizing, right? Because remember, your car RPM could go up to what? I guess on the low end, maybe 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 on the high end for high end cars, performance cars. We're talking about revolutions of that flywheel, right? When you see RPM, that's revolutions of that flywheel, right? Which means that the pistons, if people know what a car had pistons, right? 8-cylinder, 4-cylinder. That's how many pistons are in it, cylinders, and they have those pistons in it. They're moving back and forth. Cylinders moving up and down, right? A piston moving up and down through the cylinder, and oil is covering it. So what happens when it gets so hot? It just doesn't weld into each other, and that's what engine seizes: the pistons welding and melting into each other, and now the engine's one block, one big piece of metal. And so yeah, women don't even know that that's the case. Alberto says, I got a 2011 Prius, 250,000 miles. All I do is basic maintenance. Yeah. You're lucky, bro. You're lucky. You're lucky. Dr. Thrash says, Dodge light up like a Christmas tree. Drive for months, paying no mind to it. Just like these single moms never throwing a battery in a smoke alarm. Yes. I loved when Kevin Samuels used to say it's a single mom tell, single woman tell when that smoke alarm goes off. By the way, do you know how dangerous that is too on the low end? That if there was a real fire it wouldn't be there would be no way to alert the building or even her because the smoke detector had batteries out, so therefore essentially inoperable. It's sad. Alberto says, "We don't change the smoke alarm. What the f are you doing?" Yeah, bro. Who knows what these women are doing if they're not changing the smoke alarm? Because that is the simplest thing. Okay, it takes D batteries. I know they're not used to probably using D batteries all the time, but it's the simplest thing. It's not even like I don't even think that's all that. That even that all that crazy. But women still don't do it or refuse to do it or whatever the case may be. And they're paying the price of it. They're paying a heavy price of it. Um, but yeah, all right, guys. If no one's gonna hop on the live stream, I'm gonna just give my few closing words because I think we definitely got the gist of this whole single motherhood is essentially a choice, right? Single motherhood, all single moms. I know they got the single mom by choice. All single motherhood is by choice. Uh, yeah, Roberto, if you want to hop in, you give your point. I'll put the link in because I definitely beat all my points to death. I was supposed to do it for like 30 minutes, but end up rocking out for an hour with all these ideas. But hey, it is what it is. Um, but yeah, I think single motherhood is a choice, and we just got to change the paradigm, right? That we're in for women. Women got to start seeing it like there is a much bigger opportunity. Um, is a much bigger opportunity to be a wife than just a single mom. Sasha says, "This is why I recommend single women. This is why I recommend single women, especially single moms, to stay in apartments or townhouses, no maintenance." Yeah, I agree with that. Alberto, what's up, my brother?
What's up, my brother? How you doing today?
Bro, man, just coming off that live stream with Big War had me really thinking about this, so that's why I kind of made this follow up today.
I did not know you watched Big Ward, man. I swear I did not know.
Yo, Jack put me on Big Ward, yo. Jack's a Big Ward. So you and Jack got the same taste. It wasn't. I ain't gonna take no credit for that. That was him.
Yeah, because I watched that stream too where I think Jack called in twice,
Yeah,
and he was it called? He was talking about how like going stone cold sober for like a month will really help you think about your life and
yeah,
about the people that you really surround yourself with. That's a real great point. Like, damn, hit nail on the head, man.
yeah. How'd you? So Big Ward just showed up on your timeline?
Yeah, so first off, your video popped up that, Shape X Big Ward, and I was like, "Oh crap, are these guys collaborating now? No way."
That would be
My man
crazy,
Shape
right?
making moves, man.
Yeah, yeah. No, funny thing was I got a text from Jack. Jack was like, "Yo, I'm on Big Ward's live." Yo, he's like, "Hop on." He's letting people hop on.
Okay, okay.
And I
Yeah,
was
and
like,
then I
"Yeah,
clicked on Big Ward and I was like, "Oh, no way," cuz he never did that was his first live stream too. He never did any live streams before cuz
500 for your first live stream is gnarly." Yeah,
dude, I mean, yeah. He preaches to the choir.
yeah. He got 40. He got a good amount of subs though, so I can see why. You know.
Sasha's comment, this is why I recommend. Yeah, no, that's a good point. No maintenance because like you have HOAs that will probably like mow the lawn for you or like or Section 8 or something like that, they take care of that.
Yeah, single moms and single women in general, because she says single women,
They
not
have
just
a
single
lot more
moms.
benefits than they have dude, if you look at it, they have a lot more benefits than like single dads if you ask me, like in my opinion. Like there's so much grants, so much scholarships like from colleges and like assistance programs. I mean, I believe there's now, but I mean, maybe like looking back, maybe like 5 years ago or so, but there wasn't much for single fathers. I don't know if anybody can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm open to other opinion.
Well, the world in general is always trying to protect women over men anyway, because men we're the disposable sex, and women are the protected sex. So you
Facts.
know, men, we gotta die with the ship, right? We got, the captains gotta die with the ship. This is why women are never captains. And women get the life vests and the life rafts and shit. You know what I'm saying? So they get to, and that's fine. But I think one of the issues that we're having is that women have to start seeing that the lie, the feminist lie that a woman needs a man like a fist needs a bicycle is bullshit. Because the reality of it is, you know, we are the infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? We're the water that the fish is essentially swimming in. If you want to make that comparison, we're not the bicycle. We're the water. We're the ocean. You know what I'm saying? Like, this world would not be what it is without men. I don't know why people imagine that we'd have everything we had if women just did it. Women never created anything. And no one stopped them. I was watching this. I don't know if you fuck with Bob Proctor. You like Bob Proctor?
No, I've never heard of him. No.
Oh man, I gotta put you on Bob Proctor.
DM me some of his stuff. I'm actually interested to look it up because I send you some videos too, like on IG.
No, yeah, I need that. I appreciate that. So Bob Proctor was one of those like old school motivational speakers like Tony Robbins. He's like one of those like prosperity teachers, teach you how to get rich, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You ever heard of that book, Think and Grow Rich?
Yeah. I think I seen that. You know how I found out about that book? When like this one like MLM scammer was like made a post about that, because those like pyramid schemes. This like one person that I followed, she had that. Oh, I'm reading this book. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, so it's a great book, but yeah, I guess a scammer could definitely trick you into thinking that his shit is legit if you read a legit book.
Yeah.
But that book's by Napoleon Hill, and he's kind of one of the first people that had like this kind of prosperity teaching. So Bob Proctor's like that as well. And why did I bring up Bob Proctor? Damn.
That's an old book too. That's from like 1937. I mean, it's
an old book. What were we talking about? I just kind of lost my train of thought. Fuck. I don't know what we were talking about, and I brought up Bob Proctor. But anyway, Bob Proctor, his whole thing is teaching people how to become successful and wealthy by okay, so I'll go down this route. I don't know if this is the route I was going to go down, but this is the route I'm going to go down because this is what I think of when I think of him anyway, is that just like the book Think and Grow Rich, your mental attitude, your mindset in life determines really what you're going to be in life, right? It's not necessarily like your position in the world. It's not necessarily whether you're a male or female, whether you're black or white, old or young. It's really your mindset. And he also, so Bob Proctor, in one of his latest videos, he talked about the Wright brothers, how the Wright brothers were bicycle mechanics. Like literally, they used to work on bikes, but they invented the first airplane. And so what I'm really trying to say about that is like, you're not just limited to what you do if you use your imagination, your creativity. However, and no, not to women, but for the most part, women haven't used any of their creativity to make the world a better place for men or for all of us, right? No, not to women. Like I said, this is just a fact. No trying to knock them. I think women have a specific role that they're valuable for, but they haven't used their place to appeal to improve the world for men. I got this dude named Ant. Yeah, I see you in the queue, bro. You're a subscriber? If you're a subscriber, type it in the chat. Let me see what you're talking about. Because I've never seen nobody named Ant. So I don't know who that is. What's the deal? But if you want to offer something, offer it in the chat at first. Respectfully.
We're not gonna tolerate no trolling, man.
I know. I don't know why I get all the trolls. So yeah, anyway.
So you said basically it's like your mindset type of deal?
It's your mindset, 100%. Your mindset is what controls a lot of this shit.
It's also too, like, I mean, it's mindset too. It's also like you're a product of your own environment as well. Like,
Oh, this is the Ant Got Hose dude. What's up, bro?
Yo, what's up with you, bro? How you doing?
Good, good. I remember you. You the ant got no butt or some shit like that, or no hole shit.
Yeah, I'm the one
Yeah,
that long as
yeah.
username. What's up,
Okay,
Scott? How
cool,
you doing
cool.
too?
What's up, bro? What's your thoughts on this as far as women being single moms? Do they deserve it?
Let
So
him hit it
I
raw.
personally, I personally feel like single motherhood is like both like a trend and it's a choice because I've known enough like because I just turned 20. It was 2 weeks ago, right? So like I'm at that age where like I've seen like young women grow into older women sort of to the adult age, and growing up like I definitely seen some women that like were weird and wanted to like be like teenagers having children or like were clearly like choosing the wrong people to mess around with or just be on a type time around. So like I feel like when it comes to the situation of like single motherhood where like a woman's fucked up in like a judicial system with the young bull or like just any situation when it comes to a child being affected by that, like it's both a trend and a choice. But I also feel like generally because like my background is like my mom's was like my parents had me in their 20s, but my mom's ended up get was like one of the victims. Like there's an opiate crisis. I'm pretty sure in like majority of states and like majority everywhere. Like at least in Philadelphia, like my mom was a victim of that. But I feel like every other person I grew up around and like talked to like also had a parent that has some type of issues. Like and especially like women too. Like not even just fathers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I feel like with it being like a choice and a trend, also like when it comes to just general like family issues, like it's so common in people's backgrounds and everyday lives that it's like how many good women are really out here when like every other guy is having like some type of situation with their wife, you know what I'm saying? So it's an
Can I
interesting
chime
kind
in
of point
right
to think
quick?
about. Yeah, yeah, sure.
That's a good point.
So I was gonna say like some people are like choosing to be like single moms by choice. I don't know if you remember that movie, The Backup Plan with J Lo in it. She was like the main character where she's like, I actually just thought about this because I remember like watching this years ago, and it's just basically like how J Lo, she's like, instead of literally go ahead look it up, The Backup Plan,
Mm.
Right.
and it's basically she's like, she walks into like she wants to be like a single mom. She's trying to get someone to like father the kid, basically.
I think I know which movie you're talking about actually.
Yeah, it's from like 2010. It was like I
Yeah,
think it was
it's
like
old movie, yeah.
it was kind of a flop. I don't know, but it basically like it's just about like where she's like, oh, she kind of at first wanted to be like a single mom by choice, and then she's like, oh well, I'm gonna have someone like it's just it didn't really show you too much of like the tricks, but like she kind of wanted to like trap a guy like, oh hey, you got a
And
kid now.
it's interesting point because like I used to work with somebody that actually like got baby trapped, and one of the bigger streamers like from our city of Philadelphia, he was talking about like his experience growing up and like his own individual experience of like his family. He's talking about how within his family like he was annoyed with certain family members because they was taking advantage of certain systems like food stamps and welfare, and basically living on the poverty line just to be like lazy and not working pretty much. And like I feel like women also do the same thing when it comes to like divorces and trying to also play in them systems. Because I've been watching the stream. What I forget which one of y'all said it because I'm a little fried, but one of y'all said that single mothers have it easier than single dads, and I completely agree because I grew up with
Oh,
my
that
dad
was
being
me, yeah.
separated from my mom and seeing that firsthand pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, they got wick, right? And they don't got dick. They
huh?
got women. They got women, or I guess you could say, yeah, women and infants and children, but they don't got dads, infants and children.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them typically like statistics show that like kids that grew up in like a single parent household actually end up getting into a lot of trouble or something like that when they're older.
Yeah, especially if they're like within like inner city, like Philadelphia or New Jersey or like Baltimore, like very like high crime cities and
It
certain
ain't different.
sections of those cities. Because it's like when you don't really have that father influence. That's why like I'm so grateful myself because like not only did I have like both parents, and even with like one of them, eventually having a situation and getting messed up on drugs, but like I at least still had my dad who was working hard, trying to pay the bills, would still be around and like, could still like, you know, pretty much instill some type of like discipline within me and, to stay out the
Yeah,
streets and not do
the
no dumb stuff
structure.
pretty much. But when you're growing up in an environment where like your mom just might be working two jobs, you might not even have no siblings. And if you do, they might be, older, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like you just know nothing but like you get off school and then it's the concrete. It's like, people, the young bulls just be, drawn everywhere. And especially when it's like, you got an environment where you got, nobody but like maybe the old heads outside, or like, maybe no older brothers or no father figure to like, or maybe not even no older cousins to really be like, yo, don't act like this or don't move like this. That's where people put themselves in bad positions from just, doing dumb shit pretty much. So it's very important, that single motherhood is like, I feel like, in my opinion, like the last absolute thing that can happen to a child. Cause like most of the time it's pretty much the worst circumstances. I mean, you have people that like flourish from it and people that don't, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, most of the time people don't though. I know plenty of people that haven't, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Sacred Cows, aka, was it Tiberius? What's your new name?
It's a name I've been using for a long time since my high school years. But Tiberius.
Tiberius. Yo, so my bro, you got a new camera or something?
Yeah, I also am broadcasting from a different computer in a different part of the room.
Yeah, this is the first time we really got to see you, my brother. Like before, you were kind of like not as
illuminated, pale.
Yeah, you can't really meet the details of your face. What's your take on this? Do 99% of women deserve to be single moms?
Well, I think anybody who deliberately puts themselves at a disadvantage in terms of, bad choices, but especially in terms of male, female, straight, gay, doesn't matter to me either way. But especially as it pertains to children, raising children, they individually deserve the punishments that are owed to them. The children, however, do not.
Right. I think that's a pretty powerful statement too, because also it's like, then they find themselves, being around certain environments, and then it's kind of almost as if like that entire situation that they never had no choice of partaking in, with growing up without a significant, person in their life of guidance with their father or, mother, or whichever, role can be in, you know what I'm saying, that will affect them in a lot of different degrees. So I think the statement you said is pretty powerful, because it's like some people deliberately like want to live like that and do that. And it's like, or even just take advantage and, get somebody for their money or whatever, but they're not even taking into account like how the child's going to grow up and the trauma and the situation it's got to grow up with it.
I don't know. Monkey branching, I've heard as a term used, especially as I know a lot of gay twins who do the same thing. But that aside, I really wonder why. Is it the allure? Is it the same allure that young men find in like saying, aspiring to living a gangster life, or other young men aspire to living as a ignorant redneck hillbilly or something?
I love that you drew that parallel.
Well,
That's a great parallel.
Typically you're a product of your environment,
essentially,
basically.
Yeah. No, but he was saying like, so the allure of gangsterism, right? And making single motherhood almost like the female version of gangsterism, like aka a bad choice for a young male would be to become a gangster, and a bad choice for a young woman to become a single mom.
Oh,
I think that was a perfect parallel, brother.
that is such a good parallel.
That's a great parallel.
It's
because
like,
they're two bad
it's like
choices,
being outside
right?
to get put back in, or being outside to get knocked up and have a kid, literally.
Yeah, they're both outside for sure.
Yeah, literally.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
they can't be influenced when they become adults. They absolutely can be influenced when they become adults. One, you never that. Two, you never stop learning. Three, you never should stop learning. And four, if you think you have stopped learning, then tell me the last time you were influenced by an advertisement or a social media influencer, you notwithstanding. Shape.
Well, especially women. I think women are very impressionable. But I want your question.
Women live on social media at this point. It's all
absolutely.
For real.
How many women are doing OnlyFans because everyone's doing it? Like literally, I've never seen.
How many women got an Instagram page where they got at least one bikini photo? You know what I mean? It's like that's all they care about.
For real,
bro. When I was growing up, you would never see. No one had a picture of a girl's butt. Ever like that?
Bro,
that wasn't a thing, but now everyone has access to butt pictures.
It's crazy. The generation I grew up in, any John I'm messing with, somebody probably got a whole folder of their nudes or some other stuff.
Are you serious? Folders of nudes?
Yes. Oh yeah, the Polaroids.
Wild.
I'm gonna say.
No, he's 20 years old, so he's talking about digital folders.
Yeah. I'm gonna say something that's gonna fuck all y'all. In my generation, like they went crazy with the nude shit. Like I was never really on it, but yo, I knew bulls that what you call it. Like I knew people. Like I knew this one older bull. Like when I moved outside of Philadelphia, and I was like an hour away from the city. Like when my folks like moved up with my grandma. Like when I moved out the city, and I still had my folks down the way. But I was going to school an hour out of Philadelphia, and I knew this one kid that was older than me in high school. He was crazy enough. Like had like folders of Jones's nudes. You know, he would sell them. Da da da. And then I just knew other like people like that
He
in
would
general
sell them.
which would send like
That's
folders
wild.
back and forth. Like it's a crazy generation because I guess just all the females, you know, they're so quick to just give up that image of something, and bulls just be taking advantage. You know, be showing. You know, in my age, it's like you grow up, it's like bulls just showing you nudes of their girlfriend, stuff like that. But I always found that to be like where like if it's your girlfriend, if it's one like random John, I can get it, but the girlfriend, I can never really get behind. But you know, what I mean,
You guys are the Snapchat era, the era where little kids are sending nudes to each other. Yeah, because I was talking to a young girl, and I remember she sent me her nudes, but they're all, I wouldn't say they were old, but they were like, it wasn't like she took them from me.
Exactly.
Like I could tell because when you send them, it says like the date that she took them or whatever on Snapchat.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, damn, like
'Cause
everybody got these. Like,
Yeah, back in the day, girls would have been like, it would be end of the world if their nudes got leaked. But nowadays,
literally,
like,
right?
it'll just be like $8 a month on OnlyFans and be like,
yeah. So they go
No.
from high school girls who showed their nudes to a bunch of people to like now you can profit off of it.
Yo.
I would
let
say
me
to
tell you
Alberto.
something. Before the OnlyFans stuff even popped off like crazy, like every girl I talked to before the OnlyFans thing like even really popped off, like we always would have a talk about like the past, whatever. All of them said, at least maybe like if 2 out of 3, like it's crazy how common it is. But I never partook in such, digital digital exchanges. But I guess a lot of other people did. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, from high school Snapchat to OnlyFans. That's a real graduation right there.
real graduation for the young woman of my generation, for real. You know what I mean? And it's like
it's wild.
it's pretty wild. The promise community and like just the whole, I guess, because it's like 99% of women deserve to be single. That's like the title of the live we got here. And it's like when you think about it, it is, with your sexy reds, with your, you know what I'm saying? Certain,
Oh my God, I swear.
Really
that's
bad
like,
influences for
yeah,
women.
exactly. That's just like
Oh.
rap music or like any kind of like music these days. It's so like sexy red. Like you ever listen to Pound Town? Like I think everybody heard of
like
that
even
song
Cupcake
by now.
back in like 2017.
Oh, you remember Cupcake?
Yeah, I remember Cupcake.
Whoa, what's Cupcake? Wait, hold
Yo,
Cupcake
she's
was
from Chicago.
crazy.
She was from Chicago. She was like a female rapper that made like some controversial lyrics, like look up "Squidward Knows" by Cupcake, or
You're taking me back now.
You took me back when you said that. I was like, damn, I haven't heard that name forever, dude.
Yeah, we're going to check it out. Let me read Mr. and Mrs. comment. He said, yeah, when I was growing up, I never saw any of my classmates in a bikini. This is my generation, let alone have themselves pictured wearing one.
Yeah,
Facts.
exactly.
There was no pictures. Like, bro, we never seen our girl butt cheeks ever. That wasn't a thing. He said they would put shorts over it and wear one of those wrap things on their shoulders. You know, it's funny because now it makes you think the young girl I was talking to, her wearing a bikini, like a storm bikini around her dad, was light compared to the fact that girls in her class probably sent around nude folders and shit to people, yeah. So it makes sense now. Like, oh yeah, like I'm just, my butt's out, but I'm not nude or nothing.
Or like Cardi B, like that WAP song. Jesus, man.
The craziest thing about it, though, truth be told, is, like women want to claim, oh, we so smart, this and the fourth. But the young woman in my generation is growing up sending photos to themselves to anybody and getting the consequences of that by them bulls doing whatever they want with it and having that access to the things. And you know what I'm saying? Like it's insane because it's like it's this idea of like women empowerment, but not woman common sense. Like it's almost like it's like all the extremist ideas for women, but when it comes to like basic common sense and actually taking care of the woman below you, okay, I know you have like grandmas and stuff like that, but like, is there really like a woman overhead that looks out for the younger woman? Not really. Like, you know what I mean? Women, like I had said something in the chat. It didn't pop up on the screen, but I said something like, women are more fake towards each other and more toxic to each other than you can even ever make an example of men towards each other ever could be. Like women are so genuinely fake towards each other. It's actually insane.
Oh, so I was gonna say like I was reading this one article recently on X where like some I don't know if it was like a lawyer or somebody's, but basically their 18-year-old daughter, she's offering $5 a month content on Playboy's site to
Wow.
reclaim her womanhood and femininity in a way that is truly mine. How is that
Dude.
like how are you gonna regain your femininity by selling like $5 a month like naughty photos? Like what the fuck?
And
Yeah,
what's the
and-
cost differential between doing that for $5 versus $1 versus $2 versus 69 cents versus 77 cents or a penny
Yeah, I don't know how they measure
or a
that.
hand job and a Happy Meal for that?
You know, keep it real too. The cost that they're really going to pay for that long term is way more expensive than they're charging for it. They really probably should charge
Yo,
$10,000 a month because it's going to cost them
I'm just typing
so
that.
much
yo.
that they're really not going to recoup at $5-10 a month. I get that they're trying to economies of scale it where they're getting hundreds of people to pay it,
No.
but realistically, what you lose like by selling your soul, because that's what these girls do. They're selling their soul for $2.99 a month. You know what I'm saying?
And
Yeah, or
oh, go ahead, Albo, go ahead.
I was gonna say, shit. It's like these days, like I mean, I'd rather just stay single or occasionally just I'd rather just hire if I had the chance, I would just hire an escort and just for a night and that's it. Pump and dump and that's it. Like it's not even worth having a relationship these days because like these females, these are so promiscuous that it's unbelievable.
And I was gonna add in as well. I be on Instagram Reels. Like I don't really be on social media as much as I used to be, and I don't even have people like from like high school in my area on my phone. But like I do have Instagram Reels. I used to have some TikTok because I think TikTok's a little bit weird, and I don't like the stuff that goes on around that. But what I seen this OnlyFans girl, and I checked her price. Actually, it was only like $5 or $10 a month, and she was talking about like having trouble in the dating market and all these other different types of things. And I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, you're like $5-10 and access to everybody. Like it's not like a crazy idea as to why like nobody would be able to like be like, oh yeah, you're my girl, like you're my girl, like you really like my my little thing, like type thing. Like and it's insane to me because like Shape was saying, like women sell their soul, they destroyed their like reputation to do it. And
It's not
like,
empowering nobody. It's like because they say they're doing like oh, I'm doing OnlyFans as like a income and also like quote unquote empowering. You're not empowering anybody.
It's just as dumb as being in the streets, bro. It's just like when you're outside, it's like the problem with being outside is that they only are gonna put you in. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's literally the same thing with women in that regard because it's like they're pretty much selling their soul, like Shape said, they're selling their soul for temporary money, and then once they age out of it, it's gone. It's like being a stripper. It's like you only have a certain amount of time you can make money.
That's why. No matter what, fast money, and I'm going to preach this. I want you guys to repeat this. Fast money has slow consequences.
Yes.
Fast money has slow consequences for a reason.
And that comes in environmental consequences.
So
it's like a mental and physical thing, both.
They don't look at it like they don't look at the long term of it. They just think about the short term and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make these like naughty photos and I'm just gonna be like,
dude, it's
and I'm just gonna like hold on, let me finish. So they're just like, oh, I'm gonna make these naughty photos and hopefully one day I can retire and then I'm just gonna live comfortably in some gated community that no one's gonna freaking recognize me like 10 years later. But you see nowadays you have these articles where there's some like former like even porn stars or whatever like how they're like deleting themselves, or even some like OnlyFans models are promoting their content on the back of their freaking SUV or whatever. Insane.
Oh, like that one mom that got in trouble for dropping her kids off.
Her kids got suspended or something like that.
Her mom behavior, and I Slaughter. Wait, how'd you say your new name now?
Tiberius.
Yeah, it looks that way. Damn, I should know that. Your comment actually has a lot of good point. I'm going to read it out loud here. I think it's pretty good. You said, here's something else, though. What percentage of younger women and men, for that matter, who literally sell nudes and explicit photos of themselves, solo or with others, deserve to have their applications denied in their later years should they decide to apply to more conservative professions that entail a lot of public interaction? CEOs, and children, bus drivers, supervisors, administrators, nurses. That's a good point that you put that
That's
doctors and
extremely
teachers.
good point.
Yeah, you can't really get a job like that after doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
That's like even if you had the CDL license, you couldn't even work in certain industries because of that. So
yeah. So Tiberius, do you think the juice is worth the squeeze for them? Because I actually think a stripper is better because you can kind of be a stripper privately. These
Yes.
girls are selling their
Yes,
news
absolutely.
publicly, and strip clubs don't really have people taking pictures of the strippers. I guess from nowadays you got an IG as a stripper, so it's kind of well known.
They got
Strip clubs are
bouncers,
hella
facility.
depressing, bro.
The facility I used to frequent, a gay facility, they're strict and they enforced it. No pictures are allowed.
Yep.
One
Oh,
and
yeah.
two. There are quite a few white collar professionals. In other words, and other types who did that on the weekends and on evenings, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays primarily, and certain stretches of holidays. And they would make a pretty penny, but they would also have their profession still secured doing that. Now, as far as OnlyFans and porn, then that's when you start crossing a line.
exactly.
It's
a digital footprint.
Yeah, exactly. And it's forever. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not
It
like
never
these.
goes away.
You go to these sex clubs in New York, and there's a strict no phone policy. There's literally people in the rooms. I know. I feel bad that.
But
I've
don't
been
you
there.
think they're gonna
Oh,
get? What if they're just like walking down the street and they get recognized? Oh, hey, it's Sparkles. You work at that club, Booby Traps from down the street.
Yeah, but if it's locally, you can move to a different city. Like I'm trying to say, there's nowhere in the world you can move to rub off your OnlyFans career.
True.
Like where can you go to hide from that?
What makes me laugh, it makes me giggle maliciously, I'll admit, is when I see these makeshift, I call them makeshift disclaimers from these wannabe lawyers who also do this kind of content. They say, no downloading of my content, no.
Oh yeah, any reproduction of it, right?
And what's more, the company that they contract with, be it OnlyFans or Just for Fans or whatever, they have this encryption where you can't right click on the photo and download it as a JPEG file. But here's the thing: I've got more than one phone. I've got more than one computer. I've also got screenshotting capabilities. There are so many ways around that. So, yeah, go ahead and feel secure with your little makeshift $3 security blanket while I use my $60 lighter to light that $3 security blanket on fire, as well as your future career aspirations. You should happen to know me personally and you piss me off. And by the way, I've done that to somebody once.
Damn. Evil, revengeful. But I think the biggest thing too, and I remember seeing that for a lot of girls' OnlyFans page. Which, by the way, guy, I'd be subscribing to people with free OnlyFans. I'd be just curious what the hell's going on over there.
Oh, come on, Shape. No,
I'd be just for me able to talk about it like on these shows. I wouldn't pay for it. But I started seeing people say, I got a free OnlyFans. So I was like, all right, let me make an OnlyFans account. Let me see what this is about.
There's a guy who reviews like OnlyFans. His name is Only Sam. Only Sam, that's his name. That he reviews OnlyFans, and I found out about him because he did like a review on that 304 lawyer, that Jasmine chick.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the guy that goes like this or whatever it is, like that guy, or no?
No, it's.
Oh, okay.
He has like a beard, and he's like. I think he's Latino or something like that. I'm not sure.
Gonna say there's this black boy. He has like a whole thing where he sits down like this and talks about his experience and like does like OnlyFans reviews for like women and stuff like that. I'm not sure what his name is. I just have seen him like on YouTube and Instagram.
His name is Only Sam, like Only SAM Sam.
Yeah. Well, the point I was gonna make about it was like the content's not even better than Cornhub. It's not like it's like
no, it ain't. It's like some.
Yeah, it's mid. Like
it's mid as hell.
Yeah, I guess the value of it is you could talk to a girl and she interacts.
Request stuff to do for them,
Yeah, but bro, it's like I guess it's personalized, but to me, OnlyFans is for pay pigs. People who would get they would get like scummed out of their money anyway.
OnlyFans is what people who don't have jobs do. They have like the automated messages for the girls, and they set up systems for them, and then they get paid from the girls getting paid from the robots responding to people messaging them and getting them pictures that they already have pre-sent.
Professional Sims.
It's pretty much like that's what the one Yumble Jack Doherty, like the one dickhead Yumble that always be like
Oh,
pushing
Jack
people with
Doherty.
disability. Yeah, that's what he does. He manages the OnlyFans girls who have their pages or whatever.
Oh god,
But
I hate
like
that guy.
He's so corny,
what he
bro.
does
I
is
I know.
really think he's one of the most annoying kids on
because
YouTube.
y'all know AI, like I'm pretty sure they use AI for girls, like when people message their account on the OnlyFans John or whatever, like the bots will just respond and say shit. Like that's what I'm pretty sure it is. But then again, like
Even if it's a real girl, I think it's putting women on a pedestal that it's just like, bro, I'd probably rather take a fat chick out to dinner than to pay OnlyFans model a monthly subscription.
Like
Like
even big chicks are like got standards nowadays.
yeah, like
OnlyFans
crazy.
is virtual
It's higher
strippers.
standards.
Honestly, it's just throwing money
360.
at bitch to see something real quick. That's literally what it is.
brother, I want to address your fast money, slow consequence. What you said, because I know it's Myron said that. No,
What's that?
isn't that what Myron said?
Yeah, but that's what stuck with me for a while now. It's true though. I mean, like for example, if I was like God forbid, I was never a drug dealer, but I mean, if I was a drug dealer and I got locked away for like 10 years and I come back and then say, for example, I want to get a normal job like everybody else, and then they're like,
A lot
oh,
more
hey,
no's than yeses.
yeah, go ahead, Shape. So what? Do you disagree with it or agree with it?
I think it's fast consequences because it happens immediately. You know what I'm saying? As soon as I feel like the damage is done, not like slowly over time. Because when you say slow, what I think about it is like something that it takes a while before it hits you. But when I think fast, meaning like I think the price of OnlyFans, you got to pay for it almost immediately.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You immediately got a jacket on you now. And like Tiberius was saying, like you have to deal with the consequence of like that lady who got banned, her son got banned or she got suspended,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
That was fast. That didn't happen over time. You know what I'm saying? It was right away. Not that I'm not a big fan of Fresh and Fit. I called them losers before they decided that their career's over on YouTube anyway.
Yeah.
But when he said slow, I always just think to myself that slow was something that is pernicious and takes a long time to happen. But I feel like that fast money is immediate. Like even like you said, selling drugs, that consequence comes hitting you light fast. Like you know what I'm saying?
Did
I
they
think
let
So
some do
my
something?
point is, like, in my opinion, so say for example, when a chick has like OnlyFans, in my opinion, she's already like her value in the dating market is automatically like not many guys are gonna want her because it's like, say for example, it's like you give a business card and you also have your girlfriend's OnlyFans link on the business card. That's how it is, But slow consequences is like it just happens over time where it's like you realize that even if you're not doing it or you stop doing it or it'll catch up to you. That's why.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I just think it catches up to you right away.
I think
Right.
That's kind of. I think the consequence is immediate, and I think the only thing I agree with the slow part is that it lasts a long time. If that's what they mean by slow. But when I think about the gym, right, when you work out, the consequence of the gym is slow, meaning it takes forever to show up. It's not like that. Like when you do that fast money stuff for these OnlyFans girls, their consequences are immediate. Like those girls that went on the whatever pod and their host was like, "I'll never date you." That's an immediate reaction. You know what I'm saying? To them being an OnlyFans model. Like people saying, like that's why I never wanted to do any kind of corn or stuff like that because I never wanted to wear the burden of, oh, I want to associate myself with you.
Male
just
porn stars get paid
exposed.
less
You're
than female
exposed,
ones
man.
too.
They get paid less, and you've got the same stigma. Like the stigma, that might be
Yeah.
the worst part about all this stuff. Like, yeah, the nudes and all that stuff's kind of bad and blah blah. But the worst part is that stigma, bro. Like that stigma ain't really worth. I don't know any kind of money that's worth that kind of like social. Because you could be a promiscuous person, but as long as it's not on camera, you're good.
That's the craziest thing about it. And honestly, that's how most women move. But then you have
Yeah,
the
the
women
promiscuous,
that
you
are,
can't see it. Yeah.
but then you have the woman because sneaky woman type shit. But then you have the woman on OnlyFans and all these other shit that promote it and promote the lifestyle when it's just horrid. And it's almost crazy because like your take of like for drug dealing like happens right away. I think it's circumstantial. I know people that have been like still have kids and still sell a little bit of weed on the side. For
Oh, yeah,
years.
of course. Yeah,
But
yeah.
But
But
I
it
would
can
say,
hit them like a ton of bricks.
Yeah,
like
but,
when it come deep. I get what
but,
you're saying.
but what's crazy though is that if you really think about it, a woman doing OnlyFans compared to selling drugs, she might as well sell drugs because even if she gets booked or whatever else, she can still get out and have a better chance at doing something than that OnlyFans shit. That's what's so
The
crazy.
stigma of it lasts forever, bro. It's like a scarlet letter.
No, you would rather have a genuine regular felony in any type of way, even like a shitty one.
I agree.
Besides,
felony,
like,
yeah.
And it's
I
like
would
any
say
guy's,
besides,
it's any guy's like kind of a nightmare to like you're out with a chick at a restaurant and then some like random person comes up to her like, oh hey, I know you're from your OnlyFans, like, you know, she's kind of famous for the wrong reasons.
Yup.
Well, people watch so much porn that they spread so fast. One girl I worked with, I'm talking about 2000, it might be 2008, 2007, like that long
I was
ago.
3 years old. Shit.
Yeah, back then I wasn't 3 years old, but back then, there's a girl at my job, and like I said, the internet wasn't like what it is now. It was no Instagram, barely Facebook existed, barely MySpace existed. Like MySpace existed, but just towards the latter end of that. But anyway, a girl in our job, she did corn. When someone found it out, it just took 1 second before the whole staff knew about it. Like we all got the link right away. And she was a girl that I was cool with. So I texted her like, yo, I heard you did this. And she was like, oh yeah, like that was just this one time. But I looked at her completely different after that. I'm like, yo, and in my mind, it's like, was it really worth it? $1,300? Like the cost of that shit to your reputation
in 2008,
really worth it.
That's quite some money.
I have a similar story. I have a very similar story. If I could give it real quick.
Go ahead.
So when I first moved out of Philly, like the school I went to was like 5 minutes out the city. And I had grew up with like the same group of people for a majority of the time, but like it was still a very diverse school. But once I started going to school, I'm not even talking about like the Philadelphia suburbs that's like 5, 10, 15, 20, even 30 minutes out the city. I'm talking about like a whole hour, like southeastern Pennsylvania. Like once I was going to school up there, I seen just black white women everywhere. And there's a specific one because I have a type where I like women with like darker hair. And she was this a white John with black hair. But what's crazy is that like I remember just her throughout high school, like before, because she ended up doing the OnlyFans shit. I remember like her just that's when I first moved up there, having the classes with her like my freshman year, sophomore year, having like weird sexual tension with her. Her even like give me a random kiss on like my I don't even know if it was my cheek or forehead. I was just a young boy. My memory's fried. But like just all this different shit. Her just being promiscuous, like. Her being like what like y'all know the term bop, like that's what she pretty much was, but like in a suburban sense, essentially, where like back in the day before the word was said, like nobody's like it was like treesh, you know what I'm saying? Like nobody's calling her a bop. Like bop is like a this year thing that people just start saying for her. But you know, then I come to find out like probably it was like a year or two ago, as John started doing OnlyFans, and it does make you look at them mad different, especially if you grow up around a Joe and you see them eventually get into that industry. It's just like, is it really worth it? Because like you have years of your life, unless you're gonna die by like 30 or 40, like you have all this time. Like, how are you gonna bring the money in? Because the money never stops. I feel like whoever really retires at 35 or 40, you know. And even if you do at that point, it's like you want to have children or something. If you're a like famous adult star, and you want to like retire with, you know, children, your children are going to grow up with, you know, you being known in the industry. Like I was watching this Instagram clip. A guy was talking about how like one of his business partners had like done something with OnlyFans, and it grew up to like $18 million, but he never partook because he had the idea of like with his businesses, he wants to be able to present it at his daughter's school. And I thought that shit was so genuine and thorough because it's like, yo, like I can completely get behind that. Even if the guy that has that business is not technically like it's just the business is what it is. Like he is technically like not as dirty as the females partaking, and he just has the shit to his name and whatever. I can respect the guy who didn't want to partake in it because he has kids, he has a bunch of daughters, and he wants them to be known for having stuff that's not associated with such things. You know what I mean? So that's where I just have to say right there.
No, I have a good point. Yo, Sacred, I think this is a great point. He said, if I'm not mistaken, though, and in stark contrast, a way to avoid sex charges if you're a promiscuous person is if you do it in front of a camera. That great point. I mean, it's the same thing. You're getting paid for it,
Don't credit me directly for that remark. I was just recalling an older episode of Family Guy where they made that point in one of their cutaway gags. If you recall that episode, if you've seen it.
No, but that makes a good point.
Episode.
Isn't that crazy, right? And it should be kind of, it'd be funny if they made OnlyFans stuff like that illegal instead. Like I know Candace Owens is talking about let's ban all this stuff, and I don't think that would be a bad idea for the community as well. Even though I won't lie, I consume some of that stuff, but I don't think my life is gonna hurt from not having corn. Like
Pornhub is like banned in like I think is it the state of Texas,
Utah,
but it's
I
like
understand if it's not necessarily banned so much as this, and this should have been employed when we were in our teens and our early 20s shape. That you need to provide your driver's license number, you need to provide your actual valid information to check to see that you are 18 or over to view the content. And so it's not banned; they just have more stringent.
Well, that's what the law says, right? The law says what you're saying, but Pornhub decided to just remove their services from the state altogether.
They're too lazy. They're not innovative. They'd rather prey on the weak, the feeble, the young, and the impressionable. Than actually, take the initiative and think outside the box and have actually done this. They could have, like I said, they could have done this 15, 20 years ago. If not Pornhub, then some other similar services that existed at the time. So,
but there's so many websites nowadays. It's not just like, it's not just Pornhub. You got like all these other ones that are just same thing, free of charge.
I'm also old enough to remember a time in the past where when the House or the Senate, I think it was the House, proposed a measure to change the domain extension of adult sites to have it instead be XXX or like NC-17 or whatever versus .com.
It's a good point. I think that'd be a good idea, just to segregate it. But it's funny, when we were growing up, Tiberius or Sacred Cows, we downloaded on LimeWire, and I know Mr. pointed out, on Napster, LimeWire. Mr. Mitchell said he went to the video store to get the DVD.
I was gonna say, so there was basically that's the point I was gonna say, was that if theoretically they were to ban porn like online or virtually, like it would just return to how it was back in the day, how y'all
physical
they had it in like video stores.
You cannot change human nature, and there's a reason why they call, I don't know if I can say that word that begins with a P, the world's oldest profession. There's a reason why they call it that. There's a reason why the S word sells, as the expression goes, because it does. It always has. In our great grandparents' era, it did then in different ways, in more subtle ways, but nevertheless, it still sold. It still existed.
Yeah, because it's always been hard for men to have access to hooking up with girls. That's always been a thing. It's been fulfilling the need of essentially a virtual hookup for men. Playboy magazine, the videos, it literally fed on the fact that, think of it this way, right? We have more female ancestors than male ancestors, and the likelihood of a man reproducing in current times is 40%, meaning that 60% of men won't be fathers.
Mm-hmm.
That's
what I'm saying. But compared to women, it's like what, 90% of women would be mothers, 80% of women would be mothers.
In a weird way, I think in a weird way, it could be more persuasively done, but unfortunately, it's being done through coercive measures, whether we're aware of it or not. That we're on the verge. If you believe that we're on the verge of a major population decline,
we're already. It exists already.
That's not in the long term. That's not necessarily a bad thing, though. Especially when you consider, people want to say, why can't we go back to the way things were in the 50s? Why can't we go back to the way things that our grandparents or our great grandparents had? More conservative women, like our great grandmothers, our grandmothers, and so forth. Remember what the population was back in the 30s and the 40s, circa World War II. The population back then, during the Great Depression era, was a little over 2 billion people worldwide. We have way more. 2, 4, 6. We have over 4 times as much now. We have too many people. And this is.
I don't believe we have. I get that. I like when people say that. I don't believe we do, but I'll tell you what. I mean, I think because we got what 80 billion animals living on the planet, land animals, like as far as the meat industry. So we're and we kill them. We slaughter those. So you talking about sacred cows? We slaughter those animals every year. 80 billion animals
Look
a
what
year,
those farms are doing to our environment and the ecology and the surrounding landscapes of those
destroying it. Yeah, they're
communities.
destroying the rainforest. What I'm saying though is, I agree. Maybe the world would be better with less people in a way. The only reason I don't want to go down that route too far because I think it was going to ultimately is restrict people's freedoms and stuff. But I agree that if we technically had less people, people could earn more, right? That kind of thing. If you're talking about
But
that kind of
I don't know if
economy,
you saw Jack's program from several weeks ago when I was last on there. It's been a hell of a school year, so that's why I have been absent for so long. But I was on there saying it wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing again if people were persuaded to be sterilized if they were offered $600,000, which would cost $600,000, $300,000 per child. The average family has 2 children or wants to have at least 2 children, and it costs roughly $300,000 to raise a child from birth until the age of 18. So if people were offered a payout tax-free, of $300,000 per child, or in this case $600,000. You'd be $600,000 richer, and you could use that money for, say, I don't know, adoption, because there are young people out there who are unwanted, unloved, and need the caring and upbringing that would otherwise not be provided to them, simply because, again, human nature, men especially, but also women, they want to selfishly pass their seed at any cost, at any expense.
It's crazy enough how in Poland they actually encourage you to have kids, and they would actually support your family to raise them and everything like that. They have programs for that.
it's a
But I
better
mean
society.
also I think in China, it's
Yeah.
I think they only have a 1 kid limit. If
Yeah,
I'm correct.
you know how they're screwed up now that they have way more men than women.
They
Yeah.
lifted that. They
They
lifted for
actually
that
have
reason because of
they
men.
have a huge issue in China now where they have
Really
way
bad.
more men than women now.
That's why they stopped that.
Yeah, they're in a lot of trouble now with that because since they limited people to have only 1 child, everyone tried to make sure they had a boy.
They want a male heir.
Yeah, they want a male heir to carry it on the last name, and that is disastrous. You know what I'm saying? So now they got all these boys, but no women to mate with. Hey, send those Chinese people somewhere else, man. I'm sure they can find a woman somewhere else. A lot of China has.
Well, the women who did escape that hellhole, they a lot of them managed to find their way here, and they led successful lives. And I think there's an author. I think her name was Amy Tan, Joy Luck Club. She was the author of that book, which was made into a feature film, and she was a product of Chinese migrants who successfully fled that hellscape, Maoist hellscape, and
Maoists.
Isn't that ironic? Unless homosexual relationships start reproducing, which last time I checked firsthand, that doesn't happen. That whole let's have a male heir to ensure the continuation of our bloodline is as flawed as trying to start an OnlyFans at 20 years old, expecting a career as a teacher when you're 40.
It's never gonna be enough money. And man, this was an interesting topic, man. I really wanted to hone in on this because I think it comes down to choices, right? Like if people make different choices, you could have better results. And so that's why I put deserve in the title, is because we're literally earning our misfortune, right? We're earning our bad fortune.
Myron has a book called Why Women Deserve Less. He actually published a book, and I actually read it on
Oh my
on Kindle
god.
book. I'm not even kidding. I read it. It's
Oh my god.
and basically just a quick summary. It's just basically how it just shows you that just women. It's what Charleston White said also before, where women have everything they want these days. It's and they kind of should be limited on what unlimited on what they have, limited, because they got everything nowadays compared to maybe 60, 70 years ago. They just don't have companionship these days because they have an abundance mindset and they have an abundance.
They get
option.
all the attention and really everything they ask for, pretty much.
Yeah,
So,
snap of a finger.
I agree that he said their life's on easy mode. The downside with women is that they don't get the last laugh. They get the first laugh, but they don't get the last laugh. See,
Yeah.
what I do agree with women long term and through your life, being a woman's harder in a sense because you're weaker, you're not as strong, and you don't get enough credit. And you know what I'm saying? You got to live your life a lot faster than everyone else. That's a downside of being a woman. Yeah, they're not disposable like we are, but they might as well be because after like what 30, 40, they're like practically invisible. Like
Now we have the technology to have their eggs frozen.
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say that.
but that's not. I heard that that only works 25% of the time. So the science behind that, and actually, there's no guarantee that you'll be able to take that to make an embryo, and there's no so pretty much this way, right? 75% of the time it doesn't work. And honestly, we're actually promoting a bad behavior with that because you're taking a woman and saying delay having kids even longer.
Kind of playing with God in a sense of that one.
It's playing with God, and two, if a girl can have a kid in her late 30s, what's the chance of her having a kid in the 40s?
It's kind of a skill issue at that point.
Yeah,
if you don't want to play God, then don't have a hip replacement.
Because it's
Don't have a
so
hair
easy.
transplant.
It's so easy for them to kind of find a partner and they still fuck up and choose the wrong ones. It's kind of insane when you really think about it. I mean, listen. Truth be told, I think both people do it. Like, bro, my dad. I mean, I love my mother. Like, rest in peace. But like, he chose a pretty crazy woman. But like, you know what I'm saying? It's like the woman especially becomes single mothers, and then the dads in jail were fucked up for a while, and it's like it's so avoidable if they're just not as dumb as they choose to be, or they just don't choose that high, like Shape talks about on his channel and like the live streams. Like they choose that high in that feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like what makes them feel good, pretty much. But then that results in like nothing good ever. So
because it's an impulse. You know what I'm saying?
It's off impulsive behavior, and that's what women like. Like women don't move. Like I feel. I mean, some do. Like you have like your Sashas, or like your certain like women that like actually move intelligently and like have some common sense. But a lot of times, like especially like younger women, like and depending on like their background, they won't think to be like logical before they say or do anything. And especially like situations where a woman then uses like physical violence, and like that's where it gets even more brutal, because like women just, I feel like, especially in like my generation now, like don't know how to act. They don't know how to like protect themselves and be like, and I mean, I guess every woman in every generation was like different, like from mines to y'all's to grandparents to whatever, to every like generation and decade pretty much. But just the ones in mine are just so fucking bold to like be I don't even want to talk like, but just to be like, what's the word, like just to be what they call it, like object. Yeah, they're so quick to be an object, bro. Like, they're so quick to just be something.
Oh, objectify themselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
They confuse
they're so quick
attention.
to be an object and have a price tag.
I think someone said it in the chat earlier. They confuse. They don't know how to differentiate attention. A lot of women look at attention as like, oh, if I'm getting attention because people admire me, they adore me. Rather than no, people are objectifying you. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, they just want to, like this one girl. I was doing a reaction video to this one girl, and one of my last live streams, I called it "Men Are Unserious." Well, women are unserious and unintentional, right? And it's because this one girl made a live stream saying that men are unserious and unintentional. And what she's trying to say is that all these men don't want to take her on dates. They're not serious about dating. All they want to do is hook up. And in my mind, I'm like, girl, those guys, they don't want to be with you. The attention they're giving you is to sleep with you. But instead of saying, all right, I don't want attention from that guy, they're looking at it like, oh no, well, he actually likes me. No, he doesn't. They think that what needs to happen is men need to grow up and not be like that. We need to stop only want to hook up with girls like on a short term and want to have long-term relationships with them. And in my mind, I'm like, there are plenty of men that would love to have a long-term relationship with you. You're just not choosing them. You're not going after them. You're friend zoning those guys. You're friend zoning the guys that want something long-term with you, and the guys that just want to screw you, right? The guys that just want to
that
screw
bad
them,
boy vibe, right?
Yeah, the bad boys. She wants to reward them with her loyalty and shit, and the guys that want to be with her long-term, she's punishing them, putting them in the friend zone.
I seen
because she's using them as like a backup plan. No pun intended.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to not be too drawn with my description, but like I seen a woman that was sleeping between 3 different guys, like at least 2 of them was woman beaters, and like one of them, was also a piece of shit. And it just goes to show you, like, instead of just being a normal, regular woman or person, just like even if you're sleeping around, just sleeping around with people that are normal and not like just toxic, evil people in a sense. I guess that's what she was attracted to. Just one of those crazy white women. I mean, the Blancas, man, my God, they love to just do the most evil stuff and partake in the most evil things. But you know, it goes to show you, like, a woman will really choose like the worst self-sabotage stuff ever instead of just normal stuff because it's boring to them or it's not. It like even the one thing time I forget this one live stream. I be re-watching the live streams a lot, like during my work shifts. Working 14 hours. Sometimes watch the shifts during both shifts.
I just remembered. Sorry.
To say this last point real quick, just to finish it off. He said, like, there was a soccer player got dumped or whatever. It was like the soccer player got dumped for being too perfect. It's like women will self-sabotage something good for nothing, pretty much.
For nothing.
I'm sorry.
And he's rich too.
Yeah.
He was
I was
rich.
gonna say, I just remembered a time when, back in like I think high school, I got rejected by a chick, and she ended up going for like this quote unquote bad guy, and he was like I think a grade above me, and he already had like a couple
Girls.
misdemeanors already on his record. And he was like barely 17, and I asked another chick, like, in class that who knew about my rejection. She's like, and I actually still remember this to this day, like, she's like, because the reason why she chose the bad guy over you, because there's a thrill. The chick was like, grew up in like a very strict household. She wants to rebel a bit. She thinks that she's kind of giving like the middle finger to her like strict parents or something like that. And
she's trying to identify with him, like, I'm bad too. We're gonna wild out.
Exactly.
You're like the Jesus of like rebelling against parents and shit.
And I remember that guy ended up like breaking into her like crib, and like her dad almost like whooped his ass, but yeah, she still stayed with him. Fucking crazy.
But you actually hone on another good point there, is that we really need to look at this and say, yo, women, you guys are making poor choices based on the feels and now what's actually real.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if she chose you instead of him, she'd be better off. But instead, her own nature, like her subconscious, she lets rule her life and not her conscious mind. Like, I get it. Like, but what's funny about that is that we let women rule their lives by their subconscious emotional impulses, but as men we can never live like that, right? Because, bro, I see a girl with a fat ass, you don't think I want to smack that shit, but I don't.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? You think I don't want to, like, damn, that looks like a nice little grab right there, but I don't do it because it's not right. It's not. It's unconscionable. You know what I'm saying?
As men, when we see the yamin, we hold ourselves back from
like, bro, I be seeing girls, I want to break my neck and I don't do it. I'm like, yo, I ain't gonna even look. You know what I'm saying?
I be seeing a woman, I want to like really walk up to her and say what's up to her. I be holding myself back, like, nah, I'm gonna really chill out.
Exactly. Let's say you're working with a girl, you want to smash her bad as hell, or you're working with a client, you want to smash them, and you gotta like push all those feelings down and just deal with them like a regular person.
If you're somebody as a man that has at least like pushed himself to do something at some point, which most men I hope have done, even though there's obviously some, you've had to go through that struggle of that specific feeling you just described, or just even like having to pass up on something because you're not where you want to be, or you're just trying to get some bread in your pocket. Like, it's very real how off impulse, even just being like, oh, I want to talk to this John, but like I don't got what I need right now. But women will just jump into anything, and then they won't think twice about it. Like,
they're impulsive. But if we cheat out of impulse, oh, we're bad persons. You don't have to cheat. Keep your dick in your pants. You can't control yourself, bitch. You can't control yourself. You want to fuck some bad boy, and you do it. You give him a one night stand. Were you thinking? You weren't fucking thinking.
She also couldn't control herself from fucking sending nudes to other people she used to talk to, and then you're the guy dating her who she's just sent nudes to like 5 different people who probably still have it. It's fucking corny. Like, women just don't move logically, and it's more shitty in my generation because these Jones want to act like we stupid. Like, and keep in mind, I'm not smart. Like, I'm pretty stupid, but with women, I see right through it because they've gotten dumber. And I'm not even trying to be on some shit, but it's like they've genuinely gotten dumber with how they move and with the excuses they try to say, and like how they try to act like us guys. Like, don't know what type of time they're trying to be on, what they try to move. But I will say this though, like I do
See,
have
that's
faith in the good women and the good-hearted women and what they want to, because I feel like I also do see a good amount of women that do have, they bulls, they have people they dedicate themselves to and try to do stuff with, and I at least can like appreciate that when I see it. I'll say that.
that's a good point too. That's like we'll see right through the bullshit. I mean, some chicks that I met, they honestly won't until it's too
It's
late.
No, I mean like at least just because my like I'm 20, but like just this little phone like social media shit like I stopped using social media because my last relationship like that just helped me seeing through it and then just like talking to different women then talking about the past like it's always that past like experience talk with every like woman I've had that and then that social media talk or like whatever it's just revealed to me that like women really will try to talk about how many women you've messed with while they've been promiscuous around 10 times more men, even if they like body count or not, whatever. It's honestly a crazy comparison, but I guess I'm not the one to talk.
Have you guys seen that video where it's like I'm pretty sure you guys seen it by now, but it's like that single mom, she's like making her own birthday cake just so her kids can like sing happy birthday for her.
Yeah, wasn't that a scam?
Yeah, so I don't know, but I basically like kind of looked into it and supposedly she was like some kind of like scammer where she faked having cancer. Supposedly the dad has like full custody of the kids and that he's a Scientologist.
Oh
Um
Lord.
yeah, I mean it's
Oh
like
Lord.
it goes down like it goes down quite a bit, but I mean there's a lot more stuff, there's a lot of stuff that we might not know behind closed doors,
That
but
sounds like a very deep lore. God.
yeah,
You know what I would say though, young guys, man, don't trust any of these girls. Um, I don't know if you guys watch this one guy. His channel is called Listen My Son, and
listen my son.
yeah, it's great channel. But he talks about this, and this is kind of like what Fresh said. I mean, Fresh and Fit said, but to me, a lot better. He says, um, date long and marry slow. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Explain.
date girls forever, like 2-3 years, and when it's come time to marry, drag your motherfucking feet. You know what I'm saying? Like, try
Yeah.
But
not.
it's like
You know what I'm
it
saying?
seems like some chicks are like they kind of want to jump right through the hoops. They like,
I won't. I'm not
So
gonna get married
again,
unless they
date
got the.
long and marry slow. Like, don't let anybody rush your time. Gentlemen, you know what we have is equivalent to a woman having could open up her legs and sell OnlyFans pictures of her body nude. We have the access to marriage and relationships. We need to covet that like a motherfucker. That's our chastity, right? Hold that like like hold it like it's so much prime value because we determine who becomes wives.
Yeah.
They determine who becomes fathers. We determine who becomes wives.
That seed
So
will carry.
we need to hold that, and that's why we can't just a girl wants to get married right away, bro. I want to smash a girl the first night. She don't give me the pussy right away. You know what I'm saying? So fuck, not even the first night. The first minute we meet, I'm down to meet a girl at my place as the first place we meet and fuck right away. And I've done that before, but a lot of girls are not wanting to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying to you is that we need to hold on to our most prized possession and make girls go through so much hula hoops before they get into a relationship with us. And if we really want to marry them, or if we want to even get to the marriage part, wait it out like a motherfucker. Like 2 years for dating and even longer to get married.
I was gonna say.
yeah, 2 years. Yeah, that's like a reasonable time these days. But like I know some people that just got like married
couple
within
months.
barely a year, and it's like because they're just like one of them was like in her mid-30s and then they just wanted to move fast, and as soon as like I think like on the first date or so, like they already like were talking about that thing like, oh, are you actually gonna marry me one day, or are you actually gonna do this? Like,
yeah, that guy's moving. He's moving too fast because anyone could pretend, like any girl could kind of lie about who she is for 2 months, even up to a year, bro.
mm-hmm.
It takes a while to get to really know somebody, and I think these girls, as men, and you, Alberto, you guys are being the young guys in the chat, you got to realize that like that is, you know what I'm saying, your prime power right there. Like, don't make any girl your girlfriend right away just because you want to have a girlfriend. Like, nah, like make her prove herself to you. She got to earn you. Just like we got to earn the pussy, she got to earn the relationship. And if you want to get married, she got to earn the marriage. too many of us. If the girl's hot enough, we're ready for everything. We're ready for. I can't wait to show my friends to you. You're hot as hell. We're showing our friends pictures of her before we even fuck her. You know what I'm saying? Before the first date. You know what I'm saying? Yo, look at this girl I'm talking to. Like, we're too excited, and we really need a delay. Like, fuck, I don't trust this girl. She got to prove to me she's something. And it goes back to this one point I want to say too, bro. The most valuable thing about a girl is not the way she looks. You want to know the most valuable thing? Like, you see, date with girls, like the order of like what's important. The number
because
one
she has
thing.
a pretty face does not mean she has a pretty heart.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Exactly.
If y'all ever seen
but the number one thing you should choose for is she has to really like you.
Yeah.
Only fuck with girls that you're a hell yeah for. That you really do it for her, y'all. Like,
I would only argue that you gauge that ability to understand whether she really or he really likes you or not based on their patterns of behavior over a prolonged period of time. As you said, a year is ideal.
Exactly. Make them show you that they really rock with you, yeah.
And get a woman that is fiscal and like financially smart. As bad as my ex-girlfriend was, like as a person was to me, she at least was like, if we ever get married, I want to do the John or like we both don't got to give up possessions or investments or house. Like, you know what I mean? Get a woman that at least like has her financials on point or cares, is not broke, you know?
Yeah, it's lower. I would say it's lower on the list. I would say the number one thing though, bro, is make sure she really genuinely desires you. Like, if you need to have money to get with her, she's not it, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But also just have a woman that's not like dumb with money. Like eventually, like that's it, like cuffing and like.
But yeah, your age, you're not gonna meet girls that know how to handle millions. Like, come on now, like they'll go to the Chanel store.
Like, I mean, with like the credit and like like car payment, just certain stuff.
I'd take a girl with bad credit than a girl with OnlyFans.
I mean, yeah.
No, I'm being real. Shit. Like, bro, I'm trying. We can't get everything. You know what I'm saying? I also want a girl that, you know what I'm saying, got nice feet too.
Well, Shape, I'll take a woman that has like an aggravated assault and like robbery, like felony over an OnlyFans woman, and I don't care how bad the OnlyFans woman could be the most beautiful, and I've even seen some OnlyFans women be like, yo, I would probably hit that, but like I would probably mess with like a felon woman that has those things on her record, or even like a lesbian John that's probably like a gangster that looks good, some that like would mess with me over an OnlyFans John. I'm not even lying. I would put that on everything, like. Just because that OnlyFans label is like nothing compared to even being a felon, like literally, because it's a pros community versus like second chances, and at least like God forbid you get it expunged off your record one day and be clean.
But like, you know what I want you to take away from this? If you got two girls you're talking to, one's super hot and one's okay, but the hot one barely likes you and the okay one really likes you, take the okay one.
Yeah.
That's the thing I'm trying to say. Like, I want you to take away that, and like, if you have a couple girls to choose from, and don't choose by looks first, is what I'm trying to say. Choose by who's really rocking with you, not just you and Alberto, everybody. Choose who's really rocking. Like, that's something I had to learn. Like, I was talking to two pretty girls. One friend zoned me recently, right? The other one, I literally had to fight with her to get off the phone with her to do this live stream.
I have a.
You get what I'm trying to say?
I have a question to ask you though, because I mean, I meant to ask you it before, because I kind of know your answer sort of, because you kind of talked about a live stream I watched before, where like you kind of feel like value and purpose in like having like a roster and like a lot of different women, like, you know what I'm saying, like, and I know it, I know the feeling of it, like feels good, but like how do you find the energy and like effort to like have like 10 or 15 different Jones to talk to, bro? Because like if it's like 3 or 4 for me, like that's just too much. Like I barely have to effort to talk to one, to be honest. You know what I mean? I'm lazy.
The more girls you have, the less you talk to them, because if you want to communicate with a girl a lot, you would only have one girl. One girl take the most texting.
You're just hitting them up, like hitting up different Johns. Like,
no, so when you have a rotation of girls, you never hit them. What people are saying about this is counterintuitive, right? When you have one girl and only one girl, I'm telling you, you're going to be on the phone texting or seeing her all the time, blah, blah, that type of thing. When you have like 10 girls, bro, you literally never reach out to any of them. You only speak to them when they reach out to you. That's
So
the
that's
difference.
kind of your method is kind of like space your time out with all these individuals.
It's not even spacing your time out. Is that to have a rotation of girls is to have a group of girls that are chasing you.
I mean, that also, and the fact that women don't like you responding in a decent, somewhat understandable time sense anyway. So, I mean, shit, that kind of works out.
And then, when it comes to girls, you gotta just ignore them sometimes. They call you, just don't even answer. You don't feel like talking. I don't feel like talking to you. I'm talking to you. The guys that girls like are the assholes that wouldn't pick up their phone calls.
Dude, I just
They're
want
gonna
to
call their friend. How come he didn't answer my phone call? How come he didn't answer? What's going on? Does he not like me? Did I get fat? Did I do this wrong?
People want to be millionaires, want to do this crazy stuff. I just want to like NLBO. I'm 20 years old. If like the next 40 years of my life, and this is probably most men, if not everybody, like I just wish for a normal, sensible, regular woman. It does not even have to be a bitch as bad as Zendaya, or like,
Does that not feed into your perception, into their perception though, of you being a bad boy? If you're playing those games with her, she's playing games with you, you're playing games with her. Then don't you both kind of deserve undesirable outcomes in the long term shape?
Okay, so are you responding to what I said or what Ann said?
What you said.
So I'm glad you said that. So it's not that I'm playing games with them. This is the way I look at it like this. Like I got off a phone call with a girl who called me and she actually FaceTimed me right as I'm supposed to be going live. And I had to tell her, like, yo, I gotta call you back. And she was pissed. Because we were on the phone for like 3 minutes and she FaceTimed me. So she just got on FaceTime me and she's like showing me what she's wearing and stuff. And I didn't hang up on the phone or to play with her. I hung up the phone with her to pursue my dreams.
You told her and clearly informed her that you had an initiative you had to undertake this program. She may think, oh, you just on your little program. You know, if she's like that, then yeah, she deserves to have her ass dumped. But I'm talking, if you're deliberately, avoiding just phone calls and
some girls
you otherwise have.
Yeah, you do that because you could look at it this way, right? Some girls you could date a girl, you could be in a relationship with a girl, and you call her and she just don't feel like answering your phone call.
Oh my god!
You don't even understand that. That's how women work. Women are just like the minute you take girls and dating off a pedestal, like for people that are gay or whatever, when you ever take that relationship off a pedestal, you realize that one person is going to like the other person more. Either you like them more, they like you more. And the more powerful position to be in is if they like you more. That's just the truth, right?
It's so sad.
And the way for them to like you more is if you don't give a fuck about the relationship, whether it's going to last or not. You got to kind of be cool and nonchalant about it. Like, just be indifferent about it. Like, I don't give a fuck.
You can't be, like, in love, like, really sharing for shit, man.
And that's why you would date. Man. And that's how you date long, because you're constantly not in a rush to get into the finish line with them, where they're trying to get to the finish line with you. So it's not that I'm playing that game with them.
Or at some point you want to be alone right now. Response. Or if you don't want to talk to anybody, them included, a simple one sentence: I just want to be left alone for a while. I will contact you later. Goodbye.
Or just hit them up when you got free time, or never hit them up.
I think it's hard because, like, for me myself, like, I went through an experience where, like, I was so like able to be, like, not only vulnerable with a person, but, like, share that personality and that love and that real, like, genuine, like, you know what I mean? But, like, I myself, after going through that and having, like, that betrayal happen to me, like, I've been like, okay, for next one, like, I might have to be a little nonchalant. I might have to be a little more reserved. Like, I might have to move a little differently because, like, I don't know if I can ever give that same version of myself to somebody. So I can completely understand what you're saying when you're saying, like, you got to kind of, like, give bits and pieces there. You know what I mean? Like, give effort, like kind of like I guess the idea of masculinity, because, like, literally I myself was in a situation where people judged me and called me feminine just because I was showing so much compassion and love towards my girlfriend, like, physically, being driven up, like, to see her, visiting her, like, 2 hours away from other people that was, like, driving up to see her. And it's crazy when you think about it, because it's like, people will call me feminine for this, but then they'll have these other people they know that also hit women, and they won't. I want to know shit talk on their name. But, like, a regular dude like me will be called feminine for liking his girlfriend too much, I guess. So
those other people you say are your friends. I'm guessing.
Huh?
I'm guessing, Ant, that those people you refer to offhandedly are namely your friends.
Oh no! So it was a situation where, like, it was in my last relationship. Like I was being driven by some of her friends, like up to her university to like visit her, and then they seen how I was like acting around her and like called me feminine, which I just thought was insane because these people have no idea what masculinity is if it hit them in the face quite literally, anyways. But
Well, here's what I think they're trying to say is that when a girl is on your nuts, that's feminine. When a guy's on a girl's nuts, he's a stalker.
it's
So
just
you
weird,
gotta-
because it's like when that's my girlfriend of almost 2 years. It's like how
It doesn't even matter, yo. You know the coolest thing I learned from dudes that are really masculine, they're not even that. They don't even show PDA with their girl in public, yo.
You said
They
what?
could be at a party with their girl and they're not even on top of her, mate guarding her arm. Like if you see a dude in his arm around a girl 24/7, he's mate guarding her. He's trying to protect her from going away. The most coolest player dudes is their girls right there and they're chilling, having a conversation here, and no one knows that they're dating each other. But at the end of the night, he's smashing them. You get what I'm trying to say?
Oh
The-
yeah,
and
no,
that's-
I agree. It's just like at the same time though, it's like when it's not that setting and it's just chilling normally in an environment, then that was at least my situation. I was just like, damn, like we're just watching TV, we're just chilling, like playing board games, doing what we was doing, like
They just mean bro. They just whatever they're trying to tell you is that you coming off thirsty and mad excited to have a girl. When realistically, let me put it like this, right? Guys, we only have 24 hours in a day. If you're gonna put somebody on a pedestal, put yourself on there. Because let me tell you something. You can lose a lot of women. You can lose a lot of money chasing women, but you'll never lose money chasing women. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like you lose a lot of time because I did. For sure.
Yeah, you never lose a lot. You never lose women chasing money. So what I'm saying is like what I'm doing now, me focusing on YouTube for the next 6 months, I'm gonna spend less time with women, but guess what? It's gonna earn me way more women than I would have if I've been on Hinge heavy going chasing after girls. Like it won't do anything for you long term.
You're doing a great job, Shape, bro. Kudos to you, bro.
Appreciate it.
Realistically, in that concept, what you're talking about, it gives you more women in a sense of like you're devoting more time to yourself. So you just, like you said, you answer them less, which attracts them more to you. It's an evil world we live in where like you just have to move opposite to
scarcely give things their value. You got to be scarce, but be scarce, not just arbitrary. Don't be sitting on your couch eating potato chips and a girl blowing you up and you don't answer, unless you really just don't feel like talking to anybody. But really be out in the world doing something. Like, bro, I have 3 jobs. I work every single day.
I feel you.
I have no days off. You know what I'm saying?
I work 70 hours, like at least like 6 days too. So
you feel me? So
yeah.
If I'm at work and a girl calls me, a lot of times I don't even answer, bro. And it's not because I'm trying to be a dickhead. Even if I'm right by my phone, it's like I'm at work.
I feel you. I got a job where I can like I have this warehouse job where like I use a little machine to like go around and like stock parts, and like sometimes people will call me, I won't even answer when I have all the free ability to call them while I'm working, making money.
And treat a girl that you're smashing just like that, and watch your relations be better. Because let me tell you something, women will chase you if you chase success.
Shape, it's crazy because at the same time, like I'm in full belief that like I can hit up the most pretty bad women, but I have to be in a strategy where I have to play my cards right, because even if I'm entangled and with certain women, I feel like the right woman will come and be able to get that genuine side of me instead of having to put up a front and put my guard up in a sense and like having to be like scarce, you know what I mean? Because I feel like the idea of that goes away once you find that actual like marriage partner for 50 years. That's only a select few people, you know what I mean?
Bro, there's no unicorns. I'm gonna tell you a truth, and I made this mistake recently with the last girl I talked to who friend zoned me. They're all the same, bro. I thought the last girl that friend zoned me was different. She was special.
Well, they're all the same, but like you eventually you would hope like it's like the idea of retirement. It's like, oh, you reach like 65, you hope to like stop working. It's like, oh, by like 65, I hope I have like a wife that I maybe put like a low.
Put it this way, bro. If you're successful, you won't have to worry about women. I'm telling you. Successful men don't sit around worrying about women. That's what I'm saying. Like the way you feel right now is a scarcity mindset. So let me bring you to abundance. If you feel like you're an attractive guy and women desire you, I'm gonna let you know something right now. You couldn't fuck every girl that would fuck you in the world.
Right.
because you couldn't be everywhere at one time. You're in Philly right now. There's girls in Jersey that probably would fuck you that you can't meet because you got to be in Philly doing what you need to do. There's girls in New York. There's girls in California. Whatever state you move to, I'm sure you can bag a girl, right? So there's a bunch of girls that exist right now that you can't even get to if you wanted to. That's abundance, where you're going to have to miss out on things anyway. So you might as well focus on your goals, because the reality of it is you couldn't consume everything that will be available to you anyway. Like,
Yeah.
Chris Brown can't fuck every girl that would fuck him.
And to the contrary of that, like you said, like devoting that time to yourself and not giving them all that attention that they feed off of and like truly desire just makes them, I guess, just attracted more. Like, I feel like that was a mistake I made in my last situation. If I would have been a little more like reserved, like took my
Yeah.
time a little more. But I can't even say I regret it, because it was like that was a version of myself that like I put out there. I got some good results from it, some bad results from it. I know, like, okay, eventually, if that version does come out, the right person where I can, show that much love and, feel like, oh, like, that'll be a woman that I'm probably married to for the rest of my life, but not just,
Bro, don't even, I'm telling you, don't even think about the girl of your dreams. Like, get that out of your head. You're
No,
putting on a pedestal?
It's like the Jack Morgan, John, bro, because, like, I have never seen any, like, successful relationship except for, like, my step-grandpa and grandma, who, like, they've been married for a while, whatever. Like, it was after, like, my dad's, like, pops, like, original pops that passed away, and then, like, my step-grandpa, eventually came into the picture. But, like, that's the most successful relationship I've been. All I desire for is not even just a normal, sensible woman. Before I die, maybe put in, like, 10.
But you don't
20
gotta, the fact that you're thinking about women, bro, you should be thinking about all I can focus on is millions. All I can focus on is having my dream body.
It's that too. I'm just saying, like, before I pass, like,
What are your-
Bro, you
at
don't
some
gotta
point
worry.
finding that woman.
You're so, bro, that's gonna happen. You don't even gotta worry about it.
Bro, but it doesn't though. For like 10, 15 years, 20, marriage.
I'm telling
What are
you,
your
that's a
platonic
scarcity. It's a scarcity mindset. If you think that the biggest fear in your mind right now should be failure,
No.
women.
It's not about biggest fear. Okay. So if we talk about the concept of like, okay, 99% of women deserve to be like single. It's like what we talked about earlier. It's like women are more likely to like have a kid than men. It's like, okay, some people like want to have kids. I would like to have kids, but also I would like to be able to have kids with somebody that's not a fuck, like not like like.
So what do you? Okay, I get that. What are you worried about?
I like what I would just like a simple goal of mine is to, before I pass away, hopefully I live to older age, I can put in like a cool little 10, 15, 20 years of a woman that like I really like before I die and get married.
Okay, and
That's
why do
all
you think that won't? Why do you think that won't happen?
I it's not that I think it won't happen. It's just I think like.
But why do you got to worry about it? Why do you got to worry about it?
It's not even that I'm worried about it, bro. It's just like
Are you worried about oxygen disappearing?
It's not
Seriously, bro. Are you ever get? Oh man, I just hope that tomorrow I'm gonna have some oxygen to breathe.
No. It's not.
No, I'm asking you a serious question, bro. I'm asking you a serious question. Do you sit and think, damn man, I hope there's gonna be oxygen in the room that I walk in? You know why you don't think about it? Because oxygen's always there.
I'm just like, yo, it would be nice, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just somewhere it's like, yo, like, hopefully, like, I can find my little Yamin, but like, it's not something I don't wake up every morning like I don't be at work 14 hours a day thinking like, damn, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how else to put it. Like, it's not like
I just don't think I'm trying to tell you, from an older statesman to you to a younger statesman, I felt the ways you felt, and in my life now, I'm 36. I have no kids. I'm unmarried, never been married, and I'm telling you, I'm not worried about women, bro. Because one thing I realize is the party's gonna be going to the day you die. When you die, there's still gonna be clubs bumping. There's still gonna be bars jumping. There's still gonna be dudes getting their dick sucked and giving girls back shots. There's always gonna be an abundance of women, bro. There's always a new girl turns 18 every day, bro. Every day, bro. Do you get what I'm trying to say? You gotta realize that you couldn't fuck every girl in the world. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, you don't gotta worry about it because it's always gonna be there. I'm telling you honest truth. If I was your age, you know what I'd focus on right now? Getting status and money. Get your status up, get your money up.
I completely agree with everything you're saying. I can agree, like, like, for everybody within my age range, like, position, and like where I'm coming from, like, that should totally be like the main goal and like priorities, all that. I'm not even saying that like, I'm worried about women, whatever else. Just we're just on the topic of females and like the idea of like, okay, single motherhood, this and the fourth, da da da. Like the idea of like what you endear for? Like, what would be like, you know?
But it's feminine to worry about relationships. That's girls' jobs. Girls' jobs sit around. I hope I find a good husband. Don't, bro. You don't need to be thinking about that. Girls need to worry about.
It's
Girls need to worry
feminine.
about hoping they build relationships because it's feminine to worry about building relationships, and it's masculine to worry about building businesses.
So okay, but in your opinion, it's feminine to be like, hopefully one day I can get like a normal John and then like
Yes,
settle. Really?
Yes.
I
Yes.
thought that was normal.
bro. Look, let me read his comment. I'm older and in shape, and I agree with what he's telling you. They will always be there. Focus on your money. Women always want older men anyway. Your value increases with age as a man. You are thinking that, bro, if you make yourself a valuable dude, bro, women would throw themselves at your feet. You're gonna have a pick of the litter. Chris Brown has bro.
I agree.
Every successful man you could think of has his pick of the litter. I'll be trying to tell Jack Morgan, my boy Jack, he got 70K, almost 80,000 subs. You know what I'm saying? My good friend.
Okay.
He did a comedy show this week, a few days ago. Bro, 20 random people from his YouTube following showed up at the show, and it was bad girls.
Okay. All right.
That's just one. Listen to me. That's just one comedy performance. If he keeps performing, he's going to meet more girls. It's like life. When you build yourself and make yourself a successful man, bro, you're literally the world's your oyster, dog.
I know.
I've had women
Okay,
hit on me going up on stage singing karaoke.
Huh?
Wait, sorry.
I've had quite a few women hit on me. Women that didn't know that I was gay because they don't come off as such, but hit on me and proposition me even simply for going up on stage and singing karaoke. So,
There's always gonna, bro. There's always, you know what? I don't worry about women, bro, because you think you meet one bad girl, bro. There's billions of bad women in this world. Man.
I agree, but you know, a good simple example I can give is like I agree with everything you're saying, and trust me, I ain't even. I'm 20 years old. I could be really. I have all this energy to where I should be slaying them all out. I just, you know, and that's just me being lazy for real. But this one, I'm trying. This is a good comparison I can give. It's like the basketball player in Thunder, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He has had the same bad John since like high school. And she's like bad as shit. I'm just like, yo, that'd be cool if, like, in the future I build up a business and like I it's just the idea of having a woman like be fucked up, be struggle with me, and then we both prosper. That's all I'm saying. Like, and I can agree. Like, okay, if I reach like NBA status or famous status or money status, I'm gonna have women at my feet. The selection choice you said, I agree with all of that. I'm just saying, like your Kendrick Lamar's, your Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's, like. I mean, that
might not be your life, and who gives a
fuck?
fuck?
But I agree because let me finish up. Because then you have your Will Smiths. See what I'm saying? So it's
and
like
you acting like Will Smith right now, my brother. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You don't sound. You are, bro. You're not acting like a dude. Will Smith was worried about finding a good woman just like you. Look at his old interviews,
bro.
And he said, "I'm gonna be successful, so a girl would never cheat on me ever again." And now he's successful, and his girl still cheated on him. There's an old interview of Will Smith saying that I'm going to be the biggest actor in the world, so a girl will never cheat on me ever again. Okay. And that's exactly what happened to him, bro.
From a Philadelphian idol. He messed up because he should have just left after that happened. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, even for the dream, it wasn't that he was dumb for the dream he had an idea at. It was just dumb for him to take her back and have that same behavior. Like, you know what I mean? But I don't think, like, he would okay, same shit. Like, he was dumb for, like, slapping, like, the bull for making fun of the alopecia. Like, it's like that's a better. I don't feel like I could compare that by just saying like that idea of having like a regular, you know, chilling partner, having a good like role model for my kids. Like that's just normal. I feel like I don't feel like it's like a feminine thing. You know what I mean? Like,
but bro, the thing about it, you know what's sad about this, bro? You keep trying to convince me of something as if I don't understand what you're saying. And I want you to understand is I got 16 years on you. Everything you felt, I done felt before. And guess what? I got to see that idea over time and see how that wasn't what I should have been focusing on at 20. Yeah. At my age, bro, if you wanted to, you could be a multi-millionaire if you focus on a few steps today. The shit you're worried about worrying about girls ain't gonna make you rich, ain't gonna make you have status, ain't gonna make you have wealth.
No, I agree.
Girls need to be worried about securing the man that you're going to be tomorrow. You don't got to worry about securing the girl that they are today.
No. I listen. I completely agree. All I'm hoping is just for a little bad bitch for life. And I again, like,
bro, they're everywhere. They're everywhere.
I know.
I've been in your shoes. Oh, let me tell you how deeply I've been in your shoes. At your age, you're 20 years old.
First to 20. Yep.
Okay, at your age, I never even fucked a bad girl, yo. The first bad girl I fucked was at 21. Wait, no, I lie. I lost my virginity to a bad girl, but that was one time. And then from there, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have sex with bad girls, right? Bro, when I hit 21, I dated a girl. She was so bad, like perfect. Puerto Rican chick, fat ass, beautiful face, nice tits, everything. When she broke up with me, you know, I was so heartbroken with. I was like, damn, I'm never gonna get a bad chick ever again.
Yeah.
That was my thoughts, right? Right? I'm like, oh fuck, that's it. That was my only chance, bro. You know how many bad chicks I fucked since her?
No, I listen. I know because there truly are
Dozens,
people-
bro, dozens.
You still
I-
gotta-
there are
if
dozens
I
of
knew
beautiful and
when she broke up with
pretty-
me, hold on, bro. If I knew when she broke up with me that she was just gonna be one of many bad chicks I was gonna find, I would have never worried about it, yeah. What you're worrying about, everybody worries about. Every young person. Let me just tell you, because we lived it, bro, and you gotta listen to your elders. Every young person is so worried about building a relationship with someone they desire. You're gonna have mad options, mad chances at that. I'm telling you, at 36 years old, you're gonna have mad chances of finding dope girls. I'm telling you. You just don't see it now because you're 15 5 years ago. So there's a lot of shit you don't know. Let me read some of these messages though. Mr. Mrs. said, on top of that, I'm a man that has literally traveled the world, let alone the country. Put yourself in a financial position to go wherever you need to go to get the women you want. Exactly. Where you could
Passport,
travel.
bro.
You know what I'm saying? MD says, listening to Ant talk gives me anxiety. Take a breath, dude. Stop twirling your mullet and calm down. That's funny. It's fucked up a little bit too, though. But yeah. Shout out MD. Hex says, Shape, we had this convo with this kid a few weeks ago back. We can bring the horse to the water. Can't force to drink. He's going to have to learn from experience. Absolutely. I agree with you. And I don't mind that you're going to learn from experience. I know that you being young, everything I'm saying to you is not going to resonate with you because you haven't lived enough life. Like, the best way I could put it to you, 5 years ago, you were 15. 5 years ago, I was in my 30s.
5 years ago.
5 years ago, I was in my 30s, bro. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
So I've seen this. I've reached the top of the hill, and I'm looking down now.
Yeah,
You're still looking up.
I'll tell you, Bull. I'll tell you. I was listening to your one video. You was talking about, or maybe it was the last one. I forget which one. You was talking about your situation where the one John like just randomly packed up and left. You found out you shit on you. I don't know how I would have felt, Bull. So like, I clearly understand what you're saying. Like, I can agree with all that. And,
you know that same girl I talked about. I ignored her. She hit me up recently. And I just ignored her.
Yeah. It's you know, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm definitely the fuck around find out type bull, but at the same time though, like, I'm definitely somebody that like already, you know, like I'm only 20 and like I don't got no felonies and I'm like crazy, but like I have fucked around, you know, found out. I got caught up in some stuff, you know, different situations. So like in terms of like the Bulls comment who said like, oh, the anxiety, like I can understand from outside perspective because like I already done put myself through dumb shit. But what I will say is this, like me myself, like, you know, I work 2 jobs, you know, I try to get some money in my pocket. I'll try to figure out what I'm gonna do to, you know, make that little career drum. But end all be all though, like in terms of the idea of just hoping for like a bad woman, I guess in that sense it is just crazy because they're everywhere, right? But
Take it from me, bro.
but even though they're everywhere, does every single one of them have like that amazing personality you want? You know what I'm saying? That's all it is.
There's many, bro. I'm telling. There's no shortage of it. Everything you think you could describe in a girl, there's no shortage of it, dog. There's that girl, your dream girl. There's millions of her. I'm telling you, just like that. And you don't even got to look for her. She's looking for you.
Yeah.
Put yourself in a position where you attract that girl. Don't put yourself in a position where you're trying to chase her and convince her to be with you. Put yourself in a position where you attract. It's called personal magnetism, where you attract your dream girl.
I feel like
Put yourself in that position.
the ideal position to put yourself in is focusing on yourself and only taking care of yourself and putting the woman like fourth between like other stuff you have to do, but still putting good effort towards that.
Yo, bro,
And
fight your impulses because we just talked about this with girls, that single moms.
No, I
you got
mean-
that
I
same
mean-
impulses. You got to fight that. You got to fight your impulse.
I myself, I went through some crazy stuff where like I put myself second and not even like third or fourth, and that was a grave mistake. So I already done been there. I'm not even, you know, that old. But like,
I just want to go back and say, heck, yo, appreciate the donation, my brother. You know, this, I'm happy about this live too because it's good to give the young boys game. No one gave me the game, bro. I wish people gave me the game when I was your age. Nobody gave me the game.
Nah,
So what? Everything I'm telling you now, you sleep on it, think about it.
no. You know
When you
what's
wake
crazy?
up, you know what I'm saying?
Aaron Clary was right about that.
Because
Huh?
the game is everywhere. Like, I have influences. It's just like I'm the type of boy where it's like you can't tell me no. I'm gonna just do it anyway. Say how I give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? But like, what everything y'all saying is correct. I just like I guess the idea I have is like very like correct in the sense of what you sound about, where it's like everybody does have that same idea. Like everybody wants the same thing. But I just didn't think like it also had to be in the same idea of like femininity in that concept. Like I never really like crossed both ideas of the two. But I'll say this though, like before I want to hit up bitches or before I want to like do certain shit, like there's certain shit I want to attain for myself before I do that, because I know like once I have this certain shit for myself, it'll just be easy. You know what I mean? So it's like that's what it's about when you're my age and you're coming up and you're trying to figure shit out. It's just focusing on yourself first and to never ever put your finances or your situation with a woman, because like I'll be honest, I seen a lot of people my age and younger, try to live with women or try to do certain stuff, and even like one of my good friends right now, like he went through a situation where he lost a crib, certain shit happened, and thankfully he can save some money by living with the job. But like I'll tell you, man, it's very far and few, and like the one mistake I almost made that could have really messed up my future bad, which luckily I didn't, was like I almost moved in with a very toxic and bad partner, and like luckily like that's the one thing I didn't do. So like be a
At 20.
I definitely would say just choose wisely with who you choose to burn time with, or just like indulge with. You know what I'm saying? Make sure like you put yourself first and your finances first, and focus on
Yeah, but you practice it, my brother, because right now it just seems like you're so concerned about women, and there should be the least of your concern, because 10 years from now you're not gonna be thinking about the girls you fucked 10 years ago.
No,
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh man, I'm
I
really
think
glad I
more
spent
for
time with this one girl 10 years ago. Like you're not, what you're gonna
I
be
think
thinking about is
more
like,
for
yo,
the
fuck, I
sense.
wish I was working out 10 years ago. My body's like shit now. If I started at 20, I'd have a like. That's what I'd be thinking about. If I was in your shoes, if I could go back in time, like you should ask me what I would do if I could be 20 again, and I'll tell you, I'd be in the gym hard as fuck, 5-6 days in a week, for sure. Number
Well,
one thing for sure, in the gym hard as fuck. That's one.
all right,
Two.
all right. I have a good question that is more of my concerns than the woman per se. If you want me to ask a question about like you for yourself, if anything.
Well, I just don't think you know what questions to ask, my brother.
Well, if it doesn't
Well, go ahead, you
obtain
can
women,
ask it, but you know what I'm saying? Go ahead. What you gonna say?
if you were to give any like I guess advice to you for anybody my age, like what was, because you were saying you worked as a cameraman apprentice, like what was your ideas for like how you got into careers you wanted to do? Like did you like just work and stack up bread and try to invest? Because like what was your planning to get what you wanted to get with your work and stuff like that? Because that's what I'm more focused on. I'm more focused on the work than the woman per se. If we're talking about questions I want to ask bro for
If
like
I
we're
want,
talking about what I
so
would ask,
bro, that's so honestly, when it comes to, it's gonna take you a while to find your passion. I would just say try a bunch of stuff, though. You
because I
find
know you
something.
went from the little cameraman drawing to personal fitness. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like you like what you do. You talk about it.
I'm a
Like
creative, so I've done a lot of different creative jobs.
I see. Okay.
I was a rapper at one point. I worked at a record label at one point. I was a photographer at one point. Now I'm a personal trainer and a YouTuber. So I've done a lot of different jobs. And that's the best way to find yourself, by getting lost in the world. Just try shit, bro.
Just trying stuff.
Yeah, you get an instinct to do something, just do it.
Yeah, man, I totally like myself. I mean, I had a shit ton of jobs too. I mean, I could tell you, I was a car salesman. I was a freaking bus boy. I was a valet. I had my fair share of jobs. Like that I either like left or just worked. But I mean, it's part of it is just like kind of like finding your foot in the world. Your purpose.
Feel you. Yeah. I mean, honestly,
You're
if
still
you want
young,
me to
man.
be
You're
really
like
honest, as a
you're
young
barely
man,
21,
I
dude.
as a young man myself, I ain't geared to get pay the bills and get this money and enjoy what I do.
Do you live on your own?
Huh?
You live on your own?
Me myself right now.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I am blessed to where I do have folks and family.
So is that a no or yes?
No, I live with family. I mean,
Okay.
I still pay for my own
Okay,
stuff.
one of my no. Listen to me. If I was in your shoes, move the fuck out, yeah.
Yeah.
I tell it to all young men. I tell it to all young men. If you want to become a man and really understand the world, live on your own and don't move back. There's so much we could talk about on this live that will ever make sense to you to yourself sustaining yourself. That makes you into a man. Now, there's people that live with family, and hey, go ahead. No, not to you guys that do it, but this is just my personal opinion. If I could go back in time, your age, I'd be working hard to have my own place. And if you want to talk about girls, bro, ain't no better thing than for girls to do your age that has his own place. Because guess what?
Perfect transition. And we can keep this quick. Like, it don't gotta be long. I was gonna say, because Jack Morgan's opinion, his opinion is like, if he had family, he would stay with him. Like, I think that's smart because
but Jack, don't compare yourself to Jack. Jack, I don't even want to talk about Jack, but
it's just
keep
the
it
idea
real
of saving
dude.
money, yo.
To keep it
You know
real
what I mean?
dude, Jack is a dude that stacks his bread, yo. Jack is like, I don't want to talk about Jack because I don't want to reveal what I know about Jack. But if you knew what I knew about Jack, you'd understand what he's saying more than I can reveal. You get what I'm trying to say? But the best way I could put it is like, you know what I'm saying? Jack really, he's the kind of dude like he's a unique individual that could handle that type of scenario. But you want to hear the truth? Jack essentially has been on his own since he was 20 because he had to take care of his parents at a young age. So he's recommending something that he's fantasizing about, essentially still having his parents to be a kid around his parents, essentially, because he had to grow up fast. Jack started taking care of his parents when he was 19.
Yeah, with the father.
Who he became to me was based on that, rather than, you know what I'm saying, the fact that he thinks you should live with people. He's just saying that from the standpoint of you could save more money. He's absolutely right. But here's what happens when your back's not against the wall. You never develop the skills to really protect yourself if you're never required to. Like, no one does things they're not required to do.
So, because I was gonna say, I'm in a position myself where I can afford rent. Like, if I wanted to live, I could live somewhere in not even like a bad part of Philadelphia. I could get.
Hey, Shape, I gotta go. So thanks for having me, bro.
All right, my
All
brother.
right, Alberto.
I'll be in the chat if anything. All right.
Yes, sir.
Thanks. See you guys. Have a good night. Okay. Catch you next one.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up soon. I'm just giving game to Ant, and this is me trying to give a labor of love to my audience. But
yeah, so
bro,
you would
I see myself.
people
I see a lot of myself in you, and the best thing I can tell you is move out. I'm not saying I would do it as soon as I can. Like, if you got to save for a year or something.
So you're in a mindset where you recommend young men to like move out as soon as possible and put that pressure on them, like regardless of like if they got like a lot of good income coming in, like, you know what I mean? Because like, how do you go about that in the sense of like move out when you got that like motion where you're comfortable enough, then you're like in that ability to kind of like. Because I guess I had motion in a sense. It's like I get money, but it's like I don't get money where it's like I'm like having the greatest time, whatever. So it's like, do I put my back against the wall now where I kind of have to like, in a sense, just kind of get a certain amount of money to like exist? Or do I kind of wait till I have that passion and go and then I'm making money with that to then put my back against the wall? Like, what is your opinion on that? I guess you can end it off with this main thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I just think like, so I moved out late. The first time I moved out was with a girl, and then when that failed and she moved out the way that story I told you, and she boxed up all her shit and left, I moved back home. And then the second time I moved out after that was COVID. Now, the problem I see was I didn't realize how much you become a man when you live on your own until I had to do it again. Like, this is my personal first time in my 30s living on my own. And I've grew as a man so much in my 30s because I lived on my own than I ever would have. If I was still at home to this day, I wouldn't be in the scenario that I'm in now. Like, I got more money stacked up living on my own than I did living at home with my parents because I didn't have the requirement to.
Discipline, kind of in the sense of the bills and utilities.
Yeah, like I never needed, bro. I remember being at home and I had to pay my phone bill like to my dad because my dad had like a family plan. I was late on my phone bill with my dad every month. It was like $70. I
Yo,
was
you
late
was
on
out
the
of
phone bill
pocket.
every month. You know what I'm saying?
See,
Bro, I lived
see,
on my own. I've lived in this exact I got a studio apartment. I lived in this studio apartment for the last 26 months, 28 months. I was never late on the rent one time. Never.
shit. I was gonna say, I be paying like my stuff. Like I don't be paying like crazy rent or nothing because like it's a family, but I be paying like my my little stuff. But like what
But
you
I'm just giving
call
that
it?
as an example. Like because one, my dad had the family plan. It wasn't like I was paying the phone companies directly. I was paying my dad, and my dad loves me, so he give me leeway. And this is what happen. What you do is that people give you an inch and you take a mile.
Oh yeah. Oh
You know
no.
what I'm saying? Imagine
You know,
working for. Imagine your dad was like the professor at college. Do you really need to show up to class? Your dad don't want you to fail college, so he's not
no.
going to flunk you.
Oh,
You know what
oh
I'm saying?
no,
So
for sure.
you'll take advantage of that. And that's what happens when you live at home with your family is that you're constantly taking advantage of their good fortune. When you live on your own, your landlord don't give a fuck about you. You know what I'm saying? He don't care about what you got going on.
I for sure agree because when you have to like pay rent, it gives you like if you already have bills like your car insurance and other stuff you already pay for, like health insurance, other stuff. It adds on to all that stuff. And say if you get a certain amount of income working, like me, like I work two jobs, so like me renting out somewhere and living out somewhere, that's going to take more income than me staying at home, paying maybe half of those
But the
bills.
shocking thing it is because your life back's against the wall, you're gonna do what it takes to have more
And I'm
money.
gonna learn more. That's the crazy thing.
You're gonna
I'll
learn
probably
way
more.
more. Mr. said it here. He said, "Yeah, now that I think about it, when I left is when I really stacked up before I had zero savings, bro. I got more to save now living on my own, paying more bills than I did paying less bills living at home." And I talked to my dad about it. He said, "Yep, that's exactly how it works."
Yeah.
A lot of men, the minute they find out they're gonna become fathers, right? They got a girl pregnant. Their work ethic all of a sudden just comes out of nowhere, and now they're grinding. They're finding money out of nowhere. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Somehow you couldn't afford to have a child, but now the money's coming out of every which way, and now you got all the money to take care of a child.
Yeah.
This is what happens when a man's back is against the wall. You become anti-fragile. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that instead of crushing under pressure, you become stronger. So what I'm saying to you is that make yourself a man today, and your future. Like by my age, you should be thinking about like I got to work 3 jobs 7 days a week. At my age, bro, you could be at a place where you're vacationing all the time. You're relaxing more because you got investments, you got savings, you got real estate property. Like your dream in my mind should be a millionaire in your 30s. The minute, like, give yourself 10 years to be a millionaire. That's what I would do. I would say, all right, how can I become a millionaire in the next 10 years and focus on that?
Can I tell you my dream? It's kind of crazy. I ain't gonna lie. I have an interesting little dream. If you want to hear it real quick,
I would like to hear. I was asking earlier a long time ago.
Yeah, you were.
Honestly, my dream is to I'm from I lived around Northeast Philadelphia at first, but then I did live in North Philadelphia, and I probably live like 5-10 minutes away from the infamous like Kensington Avenue, one of the heroin capital of the United States, if not probably the heroin capital of the United States. And I got family around Kensington, like that's where like my dad's side of family's from. My whole dream with whatever I do and whatever I succeed with in life, if I get enough money, is, or even like if I get into a certain business where like I do some like cleaning or drug removal.
Appreciate you, Heck, bro. Y'all be safe. We're gonna wrap up the live soon, but I'm gonna let him tell my dreams. But Heck, appreciate you. Thank you for the donation, my boy. I'll see you guys. Go ahead, bro.
Some entrepreneurial type thing. I would like to try to clean up, the neighborhood, try to clean up the streets of Kansas City. At least just try to make it like a little cleaner for, the kids and the young bulls that live there to like,
something
play
like
on
social
the
work.
go to the bus stop, stuff like that. That's at least my personal dream for like being a Philadelphian and being from the city of Philadelphia, and it's like cleaning up like Skid Row. It's one of those type of things,
How
But
badly do
that's
you
my
want to do
personal
that?
dream. And it's like people want to be millionaires, people want to do certain stuff. There's rappers that don't help out their communities. I just want to give back to the community that admittedly, like I claim it's like, I live there. I'm technically from there, but I know a lot of other people are more from there than I am, and they hope they could change it more than I can. I just want to maybe be able to change it one day.
Let me ask you a question. Hold on, Tiberius, go ahead first, bro. What you gotta say?
It sounds to me like you want to pursue something involving the umbrella of social work. Have you talked to social workers, people who do stuff like that for a living, and have you had any advice dispensed to you by them?
I mean, no, not really. I just
You
thought
should.
about just getting
Great
success and
question.
money to where, you know, like you know, LeBron James, like he built a school or like whatever, like just thinking about stuff where I could just help out that community or just do something like,
Work at
you
soup
know,
kitchens.
So
huh?
all that energy you had focused earlier throughout the majority and bulk of majority of the latter half of this program on pursuing your ideal chick should instead be focused on developing that, and
Yeah.
which also should entail it can ideally start with talking to people who are in that profession of social work and
Reach out to charity. Yeah, you could work at a charity for sure.
that too.
Yeah, reach out to charities, like work at the local soup kitchens, like save up $100 and buy everybody McDonald's and just hand it out when you walk down the street.
People who engage in public sector work, for example.
Yeah. Yo, it ain't nothing to buy 5-6 cases of bottled water, go to Kensington, sit on one side and just pass out water bottles.
Yo, let me tell you, as a young man, I got a lot of different ideas how I want to give back to that hood and how I want to do
But
certain
the
stuff.
best way to give back, bro, is to have the people that can be the most generous with money. This is why I personally want to be rich, because I'm just like you. I want to help people. And so you could be more selfless if you have resources. So I'm not saying become rich so you could buy a more expensive car. I'm saying become wealthy so you could do good things with your wealth.
Yeah, I mean that's the main reason why I want wealth. Like obviously, like I said, a bad bitch would be amazing, but like I want the wealth to like give back to like my family, to like also just if possible, if like I was like fucking super ultra like rich, I would probably help back that hood, like because from where that area is, like the main rapper that's coming out of there right now, he does like whippets, he's the junkie persona.
You don't have to be ultra rich though to help your community.
You don't have to be ultra rich to help your community, but it does truly show the difference when like you put a whole new building there, new construction. You know.
There you go.
You have to
So
take
Mr.
steps
Mitchell
to
said it the
become
best.
rich if you
Let me
become
read this. LeBron James focused on basketball first so that he could be LeBron James that can help out the community. And he built a school. What I'm saying to you, bro, is you making yourself a successful man makes yourself more valuable for your neighborhood. Because the more you could the more successful you are, the more you could help them and give to them. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And you could start fundraisers. There's so much you could do if you want to do something now. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, you start a fundraiser and ask me for money. I'd give you money to help out Kensington. I'm sure Dak will give you money to help out
It's funny
Kensington.
because the YouTubers be coming out to the city. They be popping out to the city, documenting and stuff. If anybody ever came out, man, I would probably catch up with them. Show them around. It's a pretty crazy, it's a pretty crazy thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, obviously, Jersey got Camden, Trenton, a bunch of other different areas.
No, yeah, Kensington's it's a bad place, man. You guys got flock and all types of crazy drugs, pink cocaine and all that. But listen, man, I hope you watch this live stream back. Really take a lot of the things I've said. I think you got a lot of ideas. You're young. You're not really sure how life is gonna go. I'm more aware of how life goes as an older statesman, so I can kind of tell you from experience. But I've been in your shoes. You're just someone that it's not gonna make sense to you till it makes sense to you. I could preach to you till my face turns blue. It ain't gonna matter. But the best thing I'll tell you is really put yourself on a pedestal, dog. Like, really focus on making yourself the best person you can be in order to be that charitable person you want to be, in order to be that great husband you want to be. It all starts with you. Put the mask on your face first in the airplane to take oxygen before you try to put mask on somebody else.
The best way I can probably say to end off my portion of the stream, I guess, because I know you're doing it end off pretty soon, is that my main concern with the success of wanting to get back to a hood, to having a great family, to a great woman, to all that stuff, is me myself becoming the best individual and finding myself and being the best person I can be before I, can give back to anybody else in any fashion. Like, just being the best individual representation pretty much, and working hard for that, which, everyone has to, learn certain ways or go through their stuff. You were talking about like the rest story. Like, everyone got certain things like they go through to learn their lessons. And like, I think it's crazy because like us all as men from different ages, like we can all come together and talk about the concepts of like women to, all these different things. but end all be all, like we all just got to put our head down and work and just keep going for the things we want to do, and we're gonna get it all eventually. You know what I'm saying? Because as men, the one thing we do that is more masculine than any woman can ever speak on is we're the foundation of everything. We keep the world moving because we get up every day and do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and bro, I would say just another thing I would say, and I tell people your age all the time is it's okay not to know everything, yo. You know what I'm saying? It's okay not to know. I don't know everything. When you're a lot of people think to be an adult is to know everything. We don't know everything. Yeah.
I don't know everything. I think I'm just quite human. You know what I mean? I take a little pride in that. I think I'm a little fun.
No, you just put it this way: you have a lot of thoughts, ideas, and opinions, but a lot of them are untested, and that's where young people get stuck because they value their opinion too much. If I were you, I'd read like a motherfucker. Just whatever you're interested in, just read like crazy. Open up a book. I don't know why young people don't open up books.
Or go on Audible and have it read too, because people learn differently. Watch documentaries on YouTube, History Channel.
Yeah, Audible. I got Audible. I get it. I've been subscribed to Audible since pre-COVID. So Audible. But I'm just saying books as in like digest literature. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
Especially history.
Like education.
Especially history.
Pretty much. Build good habits. Self-care.
Yeah. Work on your body. Essentials. Work on your mind. You know what I'm saying? Work on your grind, bro. Body, mind, grind.
Whereas Jeremiah Babe says it, prepare yourself mentally, spiritually, and physically.
Yep. You know what I'm saying? Because you will, before you know, you will be 30, bro. Before you know it.
Bro. I just turned 20. Don't even do this to me.
I'm telling, bro. I remember turning 20 so vividly.
That's the thing. I had a lot of anxiety before I turned 30. But then as I was turning 40, I just didn't give a shit. My uncle warned me about this. Or I should say he advised me on this. Well, I see him as a mentor. He's like 20 some odd years older than I am. And, I just didn't care. And I like
that. What were you saying?
8 years from now, I think I'll give even less of a shit, to be honest with you. It is what it is.
Yeah. But guys, this live stream went over a little bit over an hour. I don't mind. I'm here for you guys. This is a labor of love. This is what I do. Sacred Cows, Tiberius, I appreciate you, my brother, for coming back. I'm glad we can finally see your face and the subtleties of it, the details of it, rather than just.
I need to lose weight. I know that for a fact. Goddamn.
Yeah. So, do you agree with what I'm saying, right, Tiberius? That Ant should be in a gym working on his health.
That's true.
At a young age, right? To value that. So when you're our age, all you gotta do is maintain it, because maintaining is a lot easier than building it. Trust me. That's one for sure. Also, bro, and I appreciate you, bro. Call in whenever live you want. We can definitely have the conversation. I'm here. I'm like a big bro to you, bro. I'm here for you, my brother.
Oh, and, I'm always trying to, because I've been watching YouTube like for a really long time in my life. I lived in a lot of different areas. Like I've always had the internet. I grew up with that, in my generation. I'm an 04 baby, so I grew up with the internet. And I always show support from the biggest to the smallest creators. And like I first, like I said, I told you before, I found you on Jack Morgan, and then I, being in live streams, and like I be working a lot, but today was the first time where I had time to call in. So I just called in and show support, and I always like to give a comment and show support. I always try to show support to the small creators, because like it's like showing support to a small business, man. We all out here just trying to grow, busting our ass, working like. And nobody can tell us shit because we work hard and bust our ass every day. You know what I mean? So the criticism and whatever people try to tell us, it just goes one ear out the other. You know what I mean?
No, I appreciate that. And I want to end on a positive note. Tiberius, you got any positive words to end and wrap up the live stream?
Well, one, aside from checking out my channel for some snarky nonsense, I will say, as I said on the comment section, especially for you, Ant, the old saying, never light yourself on fire to keep other people warm.
Very good. That's what girls are doing with OnlyFans, man. They're lighting themselves on fire.
Oh, yeah, they're doing more than that.
Yeah.
And I never heard that one before.
Yeah, that was a great one. Ant, you got any positive takeaways?
Yeah. My positive takeaways would be keep your guard up with the woman and put the money first before you want to take any photos with the woman on the Snapchat, post her on no Jones. Make sure you got $20K in the bank first. My best piece of advice.
Well, I want to tell you the truth. right now you're not in a position to give advice, but I'm glad that you got some ideas. I'll tell you what though, bro, you got to just do everything. You got to talk to girls. You got to grind. You got to do everything at once because you want to build experience in all those areas. Like I said, 5 years ago, you're 15. When it comes to girls, you're really inexperienced. It just is life. You know what I'm saying? When you're my age, when you can actually start a family with a girl, like at the right time to start a family, and you can marry her and meet her family. I gotta live with a girl right now if I want to move her in. But the most important thing to get to that point is just experience the world, bro. Don't worry about it. You're gonna find someone, that good girl. Don't even worry about it. Just date up. I would date casually, not for fun. Just have
I was
fun.
gonna say another thing too. Like I was trying to say earlier, I don't know if I said it. Like for the marriage, like when it comes to like actual marriages, whatever it is that you can get, like the income, like you don't have to lose like your assets. Like you guys can both protect your assets. That little like, paper, like agreement you could have, like that's very vital to have. That's another thing where like obviously like you want to work, do everything like you're saying, like, but if you ever do get to that point of commitment with an actual legal thing, like that actual
Fuck
paper,
commitment, bro. We're players out here, man. We fuck bitches and kick them to the side of the road, dog. That's just
yeah,
what
but we
we
also
doing.
protect our assets if we ever did settle down. And
Yeah, my ass is gonna be protected because I'm never getting married. But my point to you, my point to you, my brother, is just don't worry about it. Keep your focus on the charity. Keep your focus on your body, your mind, your grind, and take it one day at a time, my brother. You're gonna get there. Uh, it just the world just so new to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I remember like 20 years, like you said, 20 you're 20 years old. I remember 20 years ago when I was 16. Like 20 years ago, I was 4 years younger than you are now. You know what I'm saying? I was 16.
Yeah,
And I remember it vividly, bro. I remember it vividly. Everything I thought about. Huh?
I said 20 years ago, I was not only 2 years older than him, I was also 6 years older than you.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what I'm trying to say. When you get to the point where you could say, like, yeah, when people just hit me with that all the time, like, yeah, before you were born, I was doing this. And I'm like, I never understood them until I was able to do that to somebody else and say, yo, it flies fast. And what you think you know, you don't even really know.
It humbles you.
Yeah, it humbles you. So,
no, I mean, my age is where everybody thinks they know everything. I certainly don't think I know everything, and like
you there, my brother. Trust me, you're part of that too, my brother. Trust me. We all got to go through it. It's the rite of passage. We all got to go.
Of all the things you seek out to learn, pursue history first and foremost.
Yeah, I like that. Pursue history, and but the one thing I would say too on top of that is build your body now, because that's like a bank account. Your fitness is like a bank account.
Yeah.
So make some strong deposits into that fitness bank account right now. And you know what I'm saying, 10 years when you're my age, you could say, damn, I've been in the gym for the last 16 years. Your body will be incredible, bro.
Well, you're a personal trainer. When you have a young boy one day, you'll probably be able to train them to be able to,
from the jump.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah,
from the jump. So I appreciate you guys. Next live streams Thursday at 9. I'm going to be dropping content every day this week. Get ready for you. I appreciate you guys. Please watch and check out my boy Sacred Cows, his channel. He got some good information. People liked you a lot today on the live, man. I appreciate you. We definitely had a lot of people trying to see what your ideas were. So we'll definitely have him back on. He's definitely a regular here now. Other than that, Mr. Alberto, Jada 92, everybody in the chat, we appreciate you guys. Next live streams on Thursday at 9. Heck, I know Heck is gone by now. I headed one. All you people, appreciate you guys all. We'll see you Thursday at 9. Bring the same energy, and I hope you guys have a wonderful end to your week. Until next time, people. Peace.
All right, y'all. Have a nice night.
Yes, sir.